The toss of the coin for Keno Go, $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes with Keno Go. The Blues have won the toss. They're kicking to the city end of the right as we look at it in this opening term. Keno Go play with $2 today. Both captains are issuing their last instructions. Darcy Moore does get right into it. And Patrick Cripps is doing his business.
He looks like a long speech guy.
yeah. Don't say in 10 words what you can say in 50.
Well, Darcy might say 10 words that they couldn't quite understand, though. What was that word, Darcy?
That's the pre-game show for Before You Dig, before every job search, before you dig online every time. Who are you tipping, Simo?
Unfortunately, I'm going to predict the predictability of halfway through the third, the game opens up and Collingwood skip away by 5.
All right, they're heading to their positions. Fans are stretched into the back rows of the stands, which is an epic sight here at the MCG and the foreteller of a massive crowd. It'll be in the vicinity of 90,000. The tickets were exhausted a couple of days ago. It's one of those ones you just have to be there for, given the wild recent history between the two teams and the magnitude of what's at stake early in a fresh season. It's Collingwood and Carlton here at the MCG. Thursday night footy on AFL Nation, and you are with Dwayne Russell.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies in our opening term for Host Plus. That's a plus. Ball in the middle. It's DeGoey and Cripps side by side in the middle at the moment. And Hewitt side by side with Nick Dacos, who's also started in the middle. And DeConing gets the first knockdown. He's about to chase it back up. It's kicked off the deck by Houston, who came off the back of the square at half-back. Schultz, hard collision, and a hard collision with his own teammate as well, Darcy Cameron. So we'll find out how he is, but he looks okay at the moment. So at least they've both bounced up. And the restart. Cripps in the middle of it. Umpire's gone down. He'll kick with the outside of the boot, gets it towards half forward and Myercheck. Got it 50 from goal. Flicks it out. Comes to Pendlebury. Turns one way. Gave it off to Nick Dacos. Heads to the goal square. And Bobby got up there a little bit too early. Bobby, he just mistimed his leap and he couldn't quite pluck it, but it had all the signs of a mark of the year contender until he dropped it, and we'll get a ball in forward pocket for Collingwood.
Bodies everywhere early. Cameron is a little bit the worse for wear. DeConing got blocked, is unlucky not to get a free kick of that contest. Pendlebury hand passes to the boundary. Cowan is onto it. It's against and over the boundary in the hands of McGovern.
That's a big matchup, the ruck battle. It's going to decide a lot around the stoppages.
Hewitt's gone to Nick Dacos. Ball tossed in. Cameron flips it to the side. Sard, though, is onto it. That was a hot potato hand pass up in the air. Spiked away by DeGoey. Quaynor onto it underneath. He's in the tackle of Fogarty. Ball it up. 50 out from the Collingwood goal. They're going to the punt road end.
All the players in one half of the ground. The Collingwood half at the moment. Ball up on Collingwood's attacking 50. Hewitt gets it. Scrambles a kick away towards the wing. Bouncing ball. Charlie Curnow will get there first. It'll tap on it. Gets it. Keeps it alive. Got himself a kick, Charlie. He might be a bit more lively with a run under his belt. He rolls it on the boundary. He gains about 35. And Howe deliberately knocked it out. Didn't take possession. And the umpire said it was a disguised fumble enough. So we'll get a ball in. AFL Nation for Elders. You can rely on Elders in our opening term for Host Plus. That's a plus. No score to either team. A couple of minutes in. Flung back into play. DeConing muscles out. Cameron gave the handball to Cowan. Kick smothered. Ricochet to Hewitt. He goes wider with the handball. Nick Dacos plays a splendid tackle. That looked like an attempt at a don't argue from here. And Hewitt was cooked. So the man who's tagging Nick Dacos got tackled by Nick and he couldn't break out of it.
That's going to be a big matchup. Nick Dacos up the line, sat it up. Lipinski had it spoiled by Cowan. That's out of bounds.
Underrated part of his game, Dacos, his contest work. He doesn't shirk an issue for someone who's so skilled and talented. He knows how to put his head over the ball.
Adam Simpson for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. Under the Warren stand, pretty much on halfway. DeConing taps it the Blues way. It got past Perryman, who was the coverage. Motlop dispossessed. Ball loose. Up to meet it is Kemp. Straight into the tackles. Ball it up.
It's a pretty even stoppage type of game. There's no spares anywhere. Maybe a wing versus wing inside the stoppage, but around the grounds, it's pretty much one-on-one.
Luck's going to work again. Lipinski underneath, fed it away to Perryman, looking for a target forward. He went it out in front of Bobby Hill, who socketed it off the turf. It went to the boundary, and he didn't get away with that. The missed kick cost you insufficient intent.
By virtue of saying you should have picked it up. Hewitt, half-back, got it for the Blues. Holds it up. Sorry, Hollands, I should say, has got it at half-back and holds it up. And now drives it to half-forward. Darcy Moore got there. He fumbles the mark. Picked up by Motlop. Puts the Blues inside 50. The chaos ball could work. There's a few about to pounce. Howe goes and gets it. And they pounce on him 15 metres out from Carlton's goal. But this is the perfect spot for a ball up for the Blues. 15, 20 metres directly out. De Koning to do the ruck work against Darcy Cameron. Ball hits the deck. Came out to Fogarty. And he missed. So first score of the night. We've played 7.5 minutes opening term for Host Plus. That's a plus, and the clock for New Tech Automation for Manufacturing.
Howe brings it into Pendlebury. Quick look beyond the defensive 50. Just wasn't quite satisfied. He could find Crisp. So Pendlebury signals his intent to kick it longer. Cameron has to go. Silvani will arrive at the contest and punch it out of play.
Silvani playing back tonight. He's made that transition. Looks like they're going to stick with it regardless of the height they've got down there. He started the season pretty well as a backman. Had a really good game last week.
Right half forward for the Blues. No real fireworks early. Cameron stood his ground in front, brought it down. Shearer, though, swooped on it. Akers, Hewitt, chance to put the Blues inside the 50. Took his time, steered a little wide of Curnow, and set it up for Howe to take the intercept mark.
Out of Will Howe. Crowd still building. Should get to about 90. A bullet to Houston. He switches it as well. Wide ball. Heiner fumbles it, and he can't get it before it rolls out. So they've messed that up, Collingwood. The switch was on, but just wasn't executed well enough, and a ball in 50 from Carlton's goal.
Ideally, when you switch to the corridor, you'd like to stay in the corridor. It was another switch again, which just went lateral, and unfortunately rolled out of bounds.
Into play, Cameron, De Koning, short throwing. Cameron got there first. De Koning wrapped him up in the tackle. Ball fell to Lipinski, couldn't break away with it. Pendlebury loops a handball 30, gets it towards the wing. Race on, Bobby Hill, Cowan. Wiedering makes it a 3. And we'll get a ball in on the wing, southern stand side. The southern stand filling as we speak. Magnificent side here at the MCG. Two traditional rivals, Collingwood, Carlton. And it's the Blues, a point. Collingwood yet to score. Host plus, that's a plus scoreboard.
Ruckman grapple with each other the whole way. Chera onto the ball at the back of the stoppage. Didn't quite gather. Knocked it up for Walsh. Hand pass near Doherty. Walsh got taken high. Blues claim the advantage. Doherty, Chera, Silvani spins out of a tight spot and then steps into the clear. Nice moves. Kick goes forward off hands. Curnow's got it. Fed it to Cripps. Run down by Quaynor. Ball back into disputes. Taken by Pendlebury off to Frampton, who clears the area. Lipinski's out at half-back and the ball sits neatly for him. The worn wing is his. He has 2 bounces to cross halfway. Has a look inboard, then stays down the line. He's got for Elliott, who's on the lead. Too far out himself. Links it up to Nick Dacos, who thumps it through from behind. It bounced right in front of the post and wouldn't oblige. One behind a piece on the Host Plus scoreboard. That's a plus.
Quick kick in. Walsh off the Burdasard, and he gets it back to a nice run off half-back. He left Mychek in his wake. Heads wide. Young's got it. Good movement. This from the Blues. He's got a couple of options. No one's on the mark, so now he can run 10 or 15 if he wants to. He shorts it to where he could have run to Akers, who gets it back to him in the same spot. And then he loops a handball longer, and he put Kemp under too much pressure, and they've messed it up. Crisp, Pendlebury, Moore, got it in the right hands now. Houston's got it. He thought about McStay, and now the switch is on. Wide to Lipinski. He's got McStay in a short, or Bobby Hill in a long. He goes the long to Bobby. Bounced in front of him. He's misjudged that, Bobby. He waited for the pop bounce rather than going and trying to get it on the half volley. And it rolled away from him, and we'll get a ball in. Adam Simpson, our expert for MEGT.
Yeah, if there's any chaos in this game, Collingwood are lapping it up. So the second Carlton bring speed into the game, it's hurting them straight away.
Deconing the tap. Lipinski, though, won the hard ball. Hand pass to side bottom. Tosses it up inside 50. Marchek, went down, got back up, almost took the mark. Sard off the ground to clear the area. It lands with Hewitt. Brushed out of a tackle. Was able to release the hand pass. Chera and Walsh combine. Walsh brings it into centre field where Akers presents. Kicks out this side over the head. Just couldn't get it to Young. And Moore runs it the rest of the way over the boundary. A moment passes.
What's happening early on, the first 5 minutes? Kick, mark, stoppage, stop. That's Carlton. This last 3 minutes, this is all Collingwood. This is what they live off. Their pressure rating is over 223, and this is the turnover to turnover game that if you get stuck into, you could get in trouble.
Ball back into play. Deconing knocks it down. Chris knocked it further on. Couldn't get it to a teammate. That's a little high. From here, it looked high from there, and it's the debutant, Will White, to take it for the Blues on the wing. Dainty little kick, nicely measured to start. The umpire said it wasn't the required. So he plays on, goes back to go forward to Silvani, and he gets up and under. Akers might be the leaper here. A few fly, and Akers stays down. Got it, but he was dispossessed. Cripps was got it. He almost threw that away. Could have been a free. White gets it, gave it to Cripps. He chips it around his body nicely to Williams. Down to Walsh. He drops it. He handballs it further on. They might get away with it. White gave it up. This is the moment, though. Needs to be a goal from Hollands, and it is. Got it. They executed then exactly what they needed to do with the first goal of the night on the Host Plus scoreboard. Winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus, issued by Host Plus Proprietary Limited. Check the PDS and the TMD at hostplus.com.au. Adam Simpson, our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
We're in for a great night, boys. If this continues like this type of football where it's just up, back, turnover to turnover, it's going to be really good. Holland's working off the half-back line. De Goey did the centre bounce to start with, then he slips forward. And one of the things you do on De Goey is you try and run off him. And Hollands, as a half-back, worked really hard, ended up inside the 30 of his front half and converted a nice chain of possession into a goal. But if this continues, we're going to have a high-scoring game.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and Elders. You can rely on Elders. Blues lead by that goal. Cameron wins the ball in the middle, almost missed his boot, slewed out the side. Nick Dacos, though, makes good. He missed his hand pass, so he goes and gets it again. 2 possessions for the price of 1. He's going backwards, hand passed over his head to Houston. Out now to Josh Dacos, and he'll need to use Houston again. There's no way forward initially. Houston bites off the kick. That is ultra aggressive. Perryman brought it to ground, but Deconing is there. Hand pass to Sard, gives it to Curnow. Front line of the centre square. What's he thinking? Curnow right to the teeth of goal. There's nobody there, so it's got to carry. It's not online. It is through for behind. Blues by 7. It's not the kick from Houston, is it?
The instruction looks like get it into the corridor at all costs at the moment, and sometimes that's going to fail, but if it works, you score. So it's risk versus reward.
He's got it again now, Houston.
Keep looking for it.
So we'll see if he does look for it here, or whether he's going to be a bit more cautious given his last kick. He's more cautious.
He was.
Cabot his target, but Deconing out muscles in.
That's the debate, isn't it? You know, the debate between that and being brave.
And now he plays on into trouble. Elliott smothered it. Ricochets to half forward. And a chance for Josh Dacos to run it out. Gave it to Schultz. Half-back flank. Cut off by Sard. He picked his pocket. He read his eyes. Got it to Akers. Back to Sard. Inside 50. High ball Moore. He called him in. Cameron was there. And Moore called his big man back. Chips it all the way back to Frampton. He was in the defensive goal square. And he's not the hit-a-target corridor guy. Houston is, so he gives it to Houston in the pocket. And Carlton have got to work out whether they're going to let Houston get it there or they're going to shut that down at some stage.
Down the line it goes from Houston. Myercheck against Young. Underneath Silvani. Shuttled it around. Lord, Walsh, Cripps, Hollands. Not clear of the pressure. Ran into Cameron. Dispossessed, holding the ball. Eliza Ruckman wins the free kick. Gives it off to Josh Dacos. Back to Cameron. Stepped his way around Lord. Needs an outlet target. That is Crisp. Crisp has it at halfway on the members' wing. A lot of traffic Up ahead, he signals his intention, then runs around Cowan on the mark. Brings it up towards half forward. Up went Membry, down to Pendlebury, off to Nick Dacos, checks his kick. Now Doherty's got to deal with it underneath. McCreary got there. McGovern, Chera and Haynes tidy up. Haynes quickly away to Doherty, who clears the area with a long kick down the line. McStay's pretty well set. Motlop ran just enough interference. Houston swoops on the loose ball. Kicks it up to Schultz, who takes it at left half forward.
2 kicks from home. Signals for the top of the square kick. He goes along. Chance for the leapers. Membry's in there. Big fist wins. Knocks it to the goal square. De Goey got a toe on it, but he towed it through 4A behind. Nearly kicked in danger, but the umpire let that off, and Wittering was bending down to pick the ball up, but he was fisting it through, so the umpire said no, it wasn't in danger, even though he almost kicked it out of his hand. 8 plays 2, Blues lead halfway through first term.
Shearer draws a few gasps as he threads the pass to White, dinks it over the top to Walsh. Blues are in the centre square. Lord presents, rolls onto the right boot, checks his kick going forward. It gets past Young. Doherty's the backstop. Hand passes to Fogarty. Works it over the top to Cripps. He can have the shot, and the captain will deliver. Patrick Cripps with the Blues second. They lead it by 12 points. Host plus scoreboard, that's a plus. 2-2 to 2 behinds.
This looks like a different Carlton from what I saw a few weeks ago live, Jared. The ability to handle the pressure. That was a defensive 50 transition goal, which, you know, you don't want to rely on those things, but they really complement what the rest of the game is doing. So they're defending well. Obviously, Collingwood are trying to go through the corridor, and that's the way they play. If they can manage that and match them with the intensity and pressure, they're right up for it. And they've got to do it for 4 quarters, but the start's been excellent. Both teams are around the 200 for pressure factor. They've matched them inside, and they've matched them on the outside at the moment.
First term brought to us by Host Plus, that's a plus. Blues 14, Collingwood 2. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and our expert Adam Simpson for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. From the restart, the 2 second rucks in there. McStay and Young. Collingwood get the clearance. Side bottom launches it, top of the goal square. My check down there. Second effort was good. Was he caught high? Well, depends on which umpire you ask.
An issue with Houston, up to 8 possessions so far. He looks damaging. You don't want him having 35 tonight for the Carlton side.
Long in the air. McStay does the ruck work. Little tap down. Looking for Nick Dacos, but missed him. And Wiedering's got it.
From a coaching point of view, you're in the box now going, okay, what's happening in this game? Both teams wouldn't be too disappointed with the start.
Well, comes to Bobby Hill with the knockdown. Gave it off to Maynard from 50. He got a bit on it. He got enough on it. That's a beautiful goal from Maynard. Not sure the ball ever went more than 20 metres off the ground. It was a low, almost as if he's learnt to kick in a car park, in the high-rise car park somewhere, trying to get it 40 metres down but not hit the roof.
Was he having a shot? Let's say he was having a shot. It didn't spin very well.
Or do you think he was passing?
I don't know. I think it was a bit of both. Sometimes when you get caught between the top of the goal square and trying to have a shot, you kick a mongrel like that and it goes through. That was a forward 50 stoppage goal. That was a bit of a reward for some of the effort they're put in as well, because both teams are really high-octane type of football at the moment. Shows you how important centre clearances are as well. Side bottom gets a decent clearance. They don't muck around with it. They get a deep entry, you get a stoppage, you get to defend behind it, you get a score. So it's the most basic way to play the game.
And we've got the replay for Makita XGT 40-volt max. I think he was having a shot. Makita XGT, more power, more efficiency, more Makita.
It's become a sneaky goal kicker. That's 3 for the year for Maynard. Back in the middle. Ball spills out the side from the ruck contest. Off the ground went Perryman. It landed fortuitously with Schultz. Tosses it up to full forward. It clears the initial pack. Has to be dealt with at the back. Silvani didn't quite deal with it. Gave Elliott a look. Stripped of the ball by Wietering. It hits the behind post. Throw it in. Flow down inside Collingwood's 50. Umpires looking to level things up. Stay in Young. Stay clearly to the front. He wants Nick Dacos. Doesn't quite have it. Lord beat him to it. Then he had his kick smothered. Came Perryman.
Collingwood's DNA. It's just get it in the front half, lock it in, bring a heap of pressure, get some dirty goals, and you get some cheap ones as well.
MCG, a spectacular sight on a Thursday night for it. They kept Young away from it. Akers was able to gather the ball after the throw in. It's a bumbled kick beyond the defensive 50 though. Spiked back inside by Houston, straight to Perryman, off to McStay, didn't quite handle it. Akers brought it away. He missed his hand pass. Maynard's charging down again. Hand pass to Pendlebury, links it up to Lipinski, checks it up over the top, had it smothered. Lipinski on the follow-up, ran into Chera. It's a ball up in the left forward pocket.
Going to toss the ball up. The ball for Maccas. The hot honey range has dropped at Maccas. The ball about to be tossed in the air. 45 metres out from the Collingwood goal, up against the boundary. Akers kick smothered. Elliott put his body over it. Perryman's got it. Umpire says, let it roll, boys. It comes to Cowan. He was bumped, still got it. Pocket picked by Elliott. Could have been high. See, the umpire put his whistle up, didn't blow it. And now it's ball. So it's against Elliott. Elliott's claiming, what about the first one, mate? But the first one forced the umpire to put his whistle in his mouth, but not blow. Second one got the blow. Kick outside, defensive 50 for the Blues, and Houston thumps it to the line and will get a ball in. 70 from Collingwood's goal. Carlton lead 14-8, 2-2, plays 1-2, and we've played... have we played? Where's the time clock on that scoreboard? 19 minutes, thank you, in the opening term. I said we played 7:49 before, but that's actually the clock. The time of the night.
De Koning, hand pass picked off by Pendlebury, or really it went straight to Pendlebury. Just put it over the top for De Goey to run onto, but Akers saw him coming and muscled him out over the boundary.
This last 3 minutes started with a centre bounce. And this is how important it is. You get the centre clearance and deep entry. There's now been 2.5 minutes of consistent forward half from Collingwood. They're 3-0 out of the middle at the moment, the Pies. It's an important stat.
Left half forward for Collingwood. McStay bunted it down to the front. Hewitt onto it. Akers. Hand pass, Cripps didn't take it. It's over the boundary. Michael Voss very animated down on the bench. He's signalling where players need to be. Brought Zach Williams forward from the wing up to half back for that previous stoppage, so he's deeply engaged in the game. On the members' wing, tossed in. De Koning had front position. Ground ball to be won. McStay did well. Tossed it on the boot. Up inside the 50. Myercheck threw a hand at it. Couldn't reach it. Throw it in. A long, sustained attack from Collingwood. Repeat inside 50s. Blues forced to defend that length. 50 out from the Magpie goal. De Koning tried to take it out of the ruck, then go off the ground. Schultz got in and under. Walsh had to go. He's in a three-man tackle. Ball it up.
Tough on De Koning, isn't it? He hasn't come off the ground yet. He's been rucking. Must have done 20 or 30 stoppages already. Collingwood rotated their rucks through.
De Koning flips it out to Hewitt. Again, straight into the tackles. Swallowed up as soon as he got it.
Better to ruck Young, though, than ruck Cripps is the second ruck, though.
Cripps has just gone off the ground. I suspect they might have yielded to that move.
So De Koning does do the ruck work. Ball came out to Perryman. He spanked it to full forward and he got enough on it. Perryman kicks another monster goal for Collingwood with the ball in chaos, and that's his first as a Magpie.
You think about Collingwood and you think about this aggressive corridor, Houston, and that is definitely part of the game. But this last 5 minutes is what we scout when we look at Collingwood. It's not the pretty stuff. It's that centre clearance that Sidebottom got 6 minutes ago. Then there's 8 stoppages in their front half, and then eventually the Sharky hit out and you get a 450 stoppage. That's the second stoppage goal in the front half. Bossy will be looking at that. He'll be looking at the centre bounces, because the stoppages should be a strength tonight with a superior ruck against McStay, who is the second ruck. They've got to get a better result from their clearances.
Cowan's just limped off and headed to the room for the Blues. It's 2-2, each of 2. And we've gone 22 minutes.
Oh, Richie
would love that scoreboard, wouldn't he? Bounce goes down. Cameron out the side. Shearer plays a bit of volleyball. Williams wins the clearance. Bounces it inside the 50 for the Blues. Over the first line. Over the second line. Now the ball to be won on the last line. Young towed it up to Fogarty. Worked it around to White. Hooked it at the teeth of goal. It got across the face and missed ever so narrowly.
Now it's Carlton's turn to try and lock it in their front half. Another centre clearance, it turns into a score. How good are they defensively against Collingwood's aggressive corridor movement?
So Houston's got it. You wouldn't expect him to go short. He thumps it in the crisp direction, and no one went up against him. Doherty was in the vicinity, but he was looking at the play, not the ball. Nearly hit him in the back of the head. So Crisp, half back to the wing. My check, did he overuse his body? No. He chested De Koning. De Koning hit the deck. My check hit the deck. A little slip. Gave it up to Josh Dacos. He gave it to Crisp. He gave it to Maynard. Chip kick is good to Cameron. No, Cameron pulled out. Let McStay come and get it. He gave it to Nick Dacos. Went to the pocket. It's either a mark to Haynes or a push in the back. It's a mark to Haynes. Bobby Hill obviously went down a little too easy, but that looked pushish from here.
It's about as much as you'd ever get away with, I reckon. Silvani brings the Blues out of defence. Lord, with his flowing mullet, kicks right into centre field. Shearer had to wait underneath. There were three magpies around, so it was a critical mark. Shearer's got runners inboard. He sets it up for Lord, who followed up. Had a look left where Haynes has run from half-back to be viable. Haynes is the man to deliver up to the 50. He's picked out Young and he's found him. Probably too far out, so he probes into the pockets, and Will White is there.
The shot.
Back and take the set shot.
Started well, hasn't he? A little live wire.
Product of the South Warrnambool Roosters. On the hard yards is a 21-year-old. Snap to behind. Now he's got a set shot. He's wide out on the left. Will White. It's left. Once it's through for a behind. Blues lead it by two of those. And we have gone 25 minutes.
5 left in the opening term on the new tech clock. Optimise your business with automation thanks to New Tech. And it's Josh Dacos bouncing from fullback, thumps it wide, and McGovern outread McCreary. He gave it up to Wakers, back to McGovern, 80 from goal, floats it inside 50. Curnow got there too late, almost crumbed it. Williams gets it. Curnow got there too late and infringed with Frampton. So it's Frampton's free, back into the lineup tonight. Frampton plays on to Howe. One back pocket to the other. He goes to Crisp. Nicely weighted kick. He's got the over the top in Mychek. He needs a good bounce, does Brody. He gets a bad one. And they dodged the bullet there, the Blues, because Bobby Hill was free for the Mychek handball. If it sat for him, but it didn't. It'll be a ball in on the wing with 4:20 left in the opening term. And the score for Host Plus, it's 16-14. It's the Blues who lead the Magpies.
Tossed into play. De Koning worked his way to the front. Crisp, though, picked his pocket. Rushes the Pies toward the 50. Bouncing ball. Haynes up to meet it in defence. Sure hands to Hollands. Working hard for him was Motlop and Sard, and out the side for Akers. Akers straightens things up to McGovern.
Moving the ball quick.
McGovern right into the middle where Motlop got out the back of the nest of Pies and delivers quickly inside 50. Fogarty should have marked. Dropped it. Tackles Houston without it. No free kick. Pack forms. Ball it up.
Ball is pinging around at the moment, Jared, and both teams look really dangerous off the turnover. The instruction clearly is turnover, switch and go.
De Koning out of the ruck, had his kick smothered. Perryman gave it up. Hewitt trickled it forward, cut off by Howe. Side bottom, more combined. Out to the boundary now for Josh Dacos. Around the contour of the boundary to side bottom, confronted. Used Pendlebury, it fell out of his hands. Nick Dacos tried to tunnel ball it. Motlop slapped to ground by Howe. Ball it up, 52 out from the Carlton goal.
I saw a sling tackle get paid. Let's get back into the game. These physical tackles that take both arms. I've seen it twice tonight already.
Moya has come to the front row, which suggests that Cowan is out of business.
Early. Then to jump with their sub. They'll probably wait till quarter time now, you would think, given how close it is. Little fumble from Hollands. And that had to be ball. I mean, how long can you have it? And the umpire said, play on. I mean, give us a spell. There's 4 of them out there. Pay it! Elliott's out there and we'll get a ball up on the wing.
Did pay it and they called advantage when it shouldn't have been advantage.
But the player didn't know it was a free.
That's right. That's spot on.
Big crowd in MCG. 3 minutes left, opening term. Ball on the wing, knocked down to Perryman. He lifts a handball into the congestion again. It might work. Side bottom got there. He's got McCreary. He ignored it. He shook a tackle. Went inside to Degoe. Got it 45 from goal directly out. Not sure he's seen it much tonight yet. But he's got it now with a chance to put Collingwood into the lead with 2 minutes left in the opening term.
Looks like they've put a lot of work into the stoppage game, Collingwood, and Carlton put a lot of work in the turnover game.
First touch, Dwayne.
First touch for Jordan Degoe. Concentrates, he's over it. 48 metres out, and he has split the middle. One touch, and a beautiful touch at that. Collingwood lead. 2 minutes left in the opening term. First term brought to us by Host Plus. That's a plus. And it's 3-2 to 2-4. 20 plays 16. Collingwood in front. Our expert for MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts, Adam Simpson.
Carlton will be really happy about the turnover to turnover game. They're taking the game on. They're matching Collingwood with pressure. The ball movement looks sharp. It's actually the stoppages that's the main concern. They've conceded 3 goals from clearances so far in the first quarter. That doesn't bode well for a full game. You don't want to be 12 goals from stoppages by the end of the game. So it feels like if you're talking at quarter time, continue the stoppage game for Collingwood. If Carlton can get their strengths around there, because their ruck is clearly dominant, they should be able to match that.
Running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. Collingwood by 4. 2 minutes and change to play. Cameron and De Koning wait in suspense. Cameron taps it forward. De Koning goes and gets it. Hand pass was indiscriminate. Cripps got bumped in the head by Degoe. Cripps with a free kick. Hand pass to Saad, who just couldn't find a lane to run, so had to kick around the body instead. Curnow to the front. Takes the mark.
Why the boos, Jared? Just because it's a Collingwood crowd, or?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not going to be responsible for the whims of Collingwood fans as the night unfolds. Or I attempt to interpret them. Charlie Curnow. Long range set shot. Skips it. Gives it the locks. Curnow's on the board. Blues grab the lead back. 4-2 and 3-4-22 to Collingwood 3-2-20. Blues by 2.
Once again, another goal from stoppage. Some of the disposal winners so far tonight. Pendlebury's got 10, with Houston 9, Perryman 8. For Collingwood, Akers has got 12, which always seems to creep up on you. Saad with 8, and if he gets the ball, he looks dangerous. And that particular play was clearly instruction. You go, when he runs past, give him the ball, regardless of the pressure he's under. He makes things happen. So, yeah, pretty even game to start with. A lot of it's from clearances, which I don't think will be the trend the whole night. Normally that's how games start, and it turns into a turnover game as the game progresses.
1 minute 18 left in the opening term. Good quarter of footy. Ball up in the middle to Koning. Darcy Cameron came to Nick Dacos. Flicked it to Degoe. It'll be a Carlton ball again, just as Collingwood was about to clear it. So they'll be a little grumpy with that, Collingwood fans, when they realise it. De Koning thumps it long. Wants a target inside 50. Spun the punch away by Maynard. Came to Houston. Loops it wide. Josh Dacos up against the boundary, half back flank. Rolls it to McCreary. Couldn't pick it up. Crisp about to pounce. Holland's got there first. Handball inside. Cripps, a little fumble. Then he was dumped without it. Had to be ball. Had to be holding the man.
Unnecessary. Dacos.
Now that was a bit strange that he laid that tackle. Kick. Top of the square. Frampton there goes up. Can't mark it. Moore gets it. Handball's out. Akers up against the boundary. Can't get there. Nick Dacos can't get there. And we'll get a ball in with 38 seconds left in the opening term.
Now, what was in that tackle, Dane? You stole my Brownlow.
Oh, no.
He was waiting for that. He wasn't going to miss his moment there.
I'm not sure that makes up for it, does
He
it?
was happy to give away the free kick.
DeConing took it out of the air, got a kick, got it back after it was smothered, kicked it behind. Leave on behind, but they are looking good, the Blues. But they always look good early. 3-5 plays 3-2. It's how they're going to look late that's the issue. They're going to lead probably at quarter time. It's 3 points the margin with 27 seconds left. Here's Gerard Whateley on AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies.
Lockie Cowan's out of the game with a hamstring injury, so Ashton Moyer is on the field as the sub in the opening term. Lovely kick in finds Josh Dacos boundary side. Will make a certainty of your goals for DLFC. It's innovative foragers for farmers delivering certainty through science. The Blues have got 3-5 on the board. Long down the line. Carlton free kick. Walsh claimed the advantage. Floats it up towards the 50. Cameron diffuses. Takes the mark. Term went the best part of 34 minutes. Oh, there's a fight in the aftermath too on the wing. Walsh took exception to Nick Dacos. And two of the nice guys of the league went to ground together and they have drawn a melee around them.
More umpires and players around that too.
More smiles than aggro, but there was something in that between Welsh and Nick Dacos. They will part company with the fuse very much lit. Carlton 3-5-23 to Collingwood 3-2-20. Still haven't quite parted company. It threatens to go again. Sard and Maynard are now the central figures.
Oh, I see Maynard in the middle of that.
Yes. Never saw a fight he didn't like. Coaches are already out there because they've been down on the bench and they do finally disentangle, although Akers is the last to leave the area. Sard as well has been pulled away by some teammates. So it's the Blues by 3 points. Quarter time, AFL Nation, 4 and 20 pies and Elders. You can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus, the official superannuation partner of the AFL. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Attention all people in the manufacturing sector. Hear that, chat? It's time to speak with NewTek and learn how to lower your costs and increase your machine uptime simply by using better automation products that last longer. Call NewTek and challenge them to demonstrate how they can reduce your costs. Spelled PNEUTECH. NewTek proudly create efficiency for every business they work with. newtek.com.au. That's PNEUTech.com.au.
Whether you're first timing, upsizing, investing, or empty nesting, if you've found the right home, MeBank has the right loan for you. With great rates and support from a local mobile banker whenever you need it, there's no better time to let me help with your next move. Search MeBank Home Loans today or reach out to your local banker to get started. Me, making money good. Credit criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Big news, sports fans. ESPN is now on Disney Plus. Yep, you heard it right. Your Disney Plus subscription just got even bigger with live games, epic sporting moments, and 10,000 hours of ESPN's premier sporting events. And no better time to kick things off with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. Will your team make it or not? Well, you can check it out on Disney Plus, ESPN now. There you can find it. Watch all your favourite movies and your series. One subscription, endless entertainment. ESPN on Disney Plus. Turn it on.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food because who said fast food had to be bad food? We love ya.
Good health is contagious. And at Bupa, we're helping it spread around Australia by helping our almost 4 million members live healthier. Search Bupa Health Insurance today. Proud member partner of Carlton Football Club.
Why do you need a Sleeping Duck sleep system? Well, that's easy. Your sleep is important and you want energy the next day.
So you want the mattress engineered for perfect customizable comfort
with a bed base that features 50 kilos of steel back support.
You want the best quality mattress manufacturer direct and without markups.
And you want to be able to ring up the seller and get friendly advice from passionate staff.
You want it delivered next day on a 100-night trial with no stress.
Oh, and you want the one your friends recommended because it's awesome.
Visit sleepingduck.com.
For non-stop entertainment and all the 2025 AFL Gather Round action, head to Station Road, Sky City, where you'll catch the SEN team broadcasting live on stage across 4 full days of unmissable footy insights and highlights. Starting Thursday, April 11. Don't miss SEN superstars like Vixen Walshy, Gerard Waitley, Kane Corns, Malcolm Blight, Kimbo on the Rooch, Andy Marr and more. With Crunch Time Live on Saturday and Sunday. 4 unmissable days on SEN, broadcasting live from Sky City, Adelaide, where the action never stops.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say, every project see, yeah, make it sing. It's coats in your corner, make sure don't pick for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. For all your crop protection, seed and fertiliser needs. And 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food. Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The hot honey range has dropped at Macca's.
But White gave it up. This is the moment, though. Needs to be a goal from Hollands, and it is. Got it. They executed then exactly what they needed to do with the first goal of the night.
Gets past Young. Doherty's the backstop. Hand passes to Fogarty. Works it over the top to Cripps. He can have the shot, and the captain will deliver.
He's got McCreary. He ignored it. He shook a tackle. Went inside to Ngoe. Got it 45 from goal directly out. Concentrates. He's over it. 48 metres out. And he has split the middle.
Carlton by 3 points. The rain is now falling at the MCG. Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Book your flu shot with Chemist Warehouse today. The changes for tomorrow. Stewart and Manor are in for the Cats. Windsor, Pickett, Spargo and Turner in for the D's when they meet in Geelong tomorrow night. Second term on AFL Nation gets underway. De Koning reaches over the top to win the tap. Hewitt kept the hands free. Handed it off to De Koning. Cripps and Lord combined. Back to Cripps. Drew a crowd. McCreary stuck the one-arm tackle. Cripps got it to his boot, but not terribly productively. Pendlebury out in front of Nick Dacos. Brushed his way clear of Doherty. Swept the hand pass inboard. Didn't find a teammate. Hewitt on the turnover to De Koning. Put it out in front of Walsh. Kicked it out of mid-air. It rolls at half forward. Quaynor gets back in front of Curnow. Paddled it away. Needs support. Frampton is there. So too is Motlop. Motlop sticks the tackle. Frampton wriggled around, but that's holding the ball. Motlop's ball. Left half forward, 70 metres out. Hand pass to Doherty. Kicks to the hot spot. Cameron has fielded. Here they come. De Koning made the spoiled goal side. Young was a chance. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Maynard stabbed the pass to Crisp. The Pies survive.
Golden opportunity for the Blues there, missed. And speaking of missed, it's coming down rather lightly right now, but it probably is termed rain, even though it's sort of floating down in a blanket. Pendlebury gets it, heads wide. Wiedering got there first, turned his body. Couldn't take the mark. Crisp gathers, gave it to McCreary. Half hill, got a toe on it. Kick found Haynes. He gave it to Hewitt. His handball a bit too slick for McGovern. And it's in the wrong hands now if you're a Blue. Nick Dacos to McCreary. Slaps it on to Elliott. Tucked into the pocket. He goes for home. It's across the face. And he hits the behind post. It's on the full. Would have kicked it if it was last quarter and scores were level. But he missed it, and the Blues still lead by 3 points early in the second term.
There's always a side that handles the conditions better first. And at the moment, probably lean towards Collingwood the way they play.
Lord has pumped the ball to half forward. Curnow took it 2, grabber, pit it against 2 opponents. Centres it up. De Koning won't get it on the full. Crisp arrived and wins the intercept. So the Blues blow one there. Pendlebury lends a hand at half-back, gives ground to Josh Dacos, steers the pass out. Membry waited, attacking it. McGovern can put the Blues back inside. Oh, he's missed his target badly. It's out of bounds in the second minutes.
And again, it's execution. Vossi's talked about it all week. You hit the targets, you're a hell of a lot better side than a team that doesn't hit the targets.
Conditions probably suggest just get to the top of the goal square and get it to ground as well.
Darcy Cameron took De Koning out of the contest. Umpire said no, he didn't play on. Side bottom slapped it outside defensive 50. Rolling ball. McGovern got there. He's caught though. Well tackled. McCreary didn't over cook his tackle and get him high. We'll get a ball up 1 metre in from the boundary. No, we won't. The umpire will walk 3 metres in and toss it in the air. De Koning and Cameron. Ball knocked down to Doherty. Got a kick, but I'm not sure if you can count it. It's on the full. 23 plays 20. Blues have had it around their half-forward area for a while, but done nothing with it. It's the Blues who still lead by 3 points, though. A couple of minutes in second term.
Josh Dacos on the restart. Kicks up to halfway off the hands of the pack. Elliott has drifted up. He balked the hand pass initially, then gives it to Nick Dacos, who was hot. And he was taken down by Cripps. No free kick on the turnaround play there. De Koning, hand passes to Wiedering. Kicked the belly of the ball out on the full.
You've got the sloppy skills by foot from Carlton and the sloppy skills by hand from Collingwood at the moment. It's just it's a bit of a stalemate between the arcs.
It's a shame that the rain's arrived because it drains a bit of the quality that we saw the first term out. Josh has got to start outside the boundary. Blues by 3 points. 4 scoreless minutes thus far in the second quarter. Josh Dacos gives it all he's got. Elliott has a fly, but Wiedering always had front position, takes the mark, releases Doherty, pumps it forward. Young's got the one-on-one. Moore came over the top, made the spoil and the gather. Hand passed around the boundary daringly. Josh Dacos, the ground ball. He missed his target by hand. Doherty on the turnover. Walsh got taken down without it. So the Magpies fans have all checked their phones at quarter time. It's 11 free kicks to 3 against them. That one was plain as day. On board to Hollands.
As much as you want a connection here, there's nothing wrong with getting as deep as you can. Put some pressure on.
Hollands has kicked it to the lead of Young. Up went Pendlebury, dropped the mark. Motlop is threatening, gathered, hand pass out in front of Young, goes to ground, kept momentum going. Kemp onto it, ran flat bang into Quaynor. Kemp with his legs on top of the footy, holds it in the goal mouth.
So you can't thump it through on the full. It's 3 metres away from that goal line, or more importantly, the behind line, if you like. Can't thump it through on the full. Darcy Cameron does get a hand on it. It's knocked toward the boundary, tackle laid, and a roll out of play. And if you have joined us late, Ashton Moyer is on the sub for the Blues, and Lockie Cowan is out of the game. The Blues have already jumped with their sub. Ball in forward pocket for them, and they lead by 3 points, 23-20. Back into play. De Koning gets their front spot, missed it. Ball fell to Lord, gave it to Walsh, gave it to Doherty, 40 from goal. Nick Dacos wrapped him. He gave a handball to Hewitt, slung 360 back to Walsh. Caught. Did he get a handball? And we searched for the boundary, and the umpire says, no, you won't. I'm going to even this free kick count up a bit. And Collingwood get the free for holding the ball to McCreary on a half-back flank. 3-2 plays 3-5. Scoring the second term for Mate, Internet and Mobile.
McCreary up the line. Wiedering the sweetly timed fist all the way to the boundary.
The rain cleaned up a little bit. Jared out there. Softened a little bit, so the ground looks like it drains pretty well. The players have handled the conditions pretty well as well. It's seen a massive difference in the skill level.
Adam Simpson for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. De Koning to the shallow throw in, didn't gather it though. Off the ground goes side bottom. Took a bit of territory. Membry overran it. Wiedering didn't. Gathers it, gave it to Silvani. Just prods the kick forward to nobody in particular. Side bottom, bunts it up to Membry. Gives it on to Schultz, who had a mind to run the gauntlet. Released it away to Perryman up inside the 50. Membry came one way, Wiedering the other. Wiedering's just so sure in those scenarios out over the boundary.
Haven't seen anything from Membry tonight so far. Wiedering's having impact, isn't he? The good players play well for Carlton. They're in the game. His Maynard just limping a little bit back line.
Blues still by 3. Their turn to attack. Cameron taps to Schultz. Taken down. Haynes away to Akers. Brings the ball to the wing. Bouncing ball, Frampton. Clever paddle. Down to Maynard. Back to half forward for the Pies. DeConing got a fist on it. Schultz gathered. He missed the hand pass to Perryman. It was right on too. Perryman wins his own ball. Off to Pendlebury. Around now to Lipinski. Balked his way through. Got it to the boot. Took the flying shot. Missed to the right. Down by 2 on the Internet and Mobile scoreboard.
Did the hard work there. Lipinski didn't finish. Hollands, the kick in for the Blues. And down the spine they travelled DeConing's direction. Frampton gets there from 3 deep. Young with a big fist knocked it inside. Gave it to Fogarty. Gave it to Walsh. Gave it off to McGovern, but his kick smothered. Gets it back on the run. Looks up to see what he's got forward. He ran a full 360 and it's a Blues free. He doesn't want to play onto advantage. Fogarty was the man who deserved the free kick. Thumps it out wide to Doherty. He heads to Hewitt. Still 80 from goal. He's got more in the goal square if he wants to launch it long. Does he want to launch it long? He heads in that direction. Young got there and almost spoiled his own man. Ball fell to Quainer and he accidentally ran it over the boundary before handing it to Lipinski. Ball in 3-3 to 3-5. The second term brought to us by Mate Internet and Mobile. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout. Here's Gerard Waitley on AFL Nation. For elders, you can rely on elders.
Blues in attack. DeConing to the front. Maynard repels. Slammed it onto the boot. Took good territory up the worn wing. Elliott leads the race. Williams tries to work him over. It's a good duel. Neither quite wins it, and then Williams does. Gathers the ground ball. Runs away. Works the kick forward to the Blues. Magpies are pretty well set. Cameron spoiled it straight into the hands of Lipinski. Josh Dacos played a role. Side bottom. It's a Collingwood. Against Collingwood. Against Josh Dacos. Doherty's ball. Magpies was set to run that out of half back.
13 to 4 free kicks.
They're going to get a lot of free kicks in the last half, Collingwood.
Doherty to Chera. Kicks up to full forward. Cameron goes back with a flight. Takes the saving mark.
Hands it off to Quaynor. Defensive goal square. It's got Crisp by hand. He goes by foot to Schultz. Good target, Schultz. He just thumped his back into.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there's the 50. So
There it
leaving
is.
itself up now. I'm not sure that was 50, but hey. So McGovern was the man that Schultz backed into to make sure that McGovern couldn't get a spoil on it. Schultz now on the wing. Heads wide. He's got DeGoey on the march. All thumped away from him. Crisp and the boundary line and Mychek all got there. Mychek kept alive. Rolled it inside 50 towards Wiedering. Taken to the line by DeGoey. And the umpire will ball it in. Gee, it's a good-looking crowd.
For a school night.
I thought you were going to say for Collingwood. But I meant good looking in the nicest possible way, of course, Gerard.
So good looking. Had the throw in.
I didn't know you were a Seinfeld fan.
Yes. McGovern just grabbed the ankle. Throw the ball in properly. I agree with that one. Carlton by 2, scoreless through 11 minutes of the second term. Had a decent shower, which is now cleared. DeConing took it out of the ruck, threw it. Shearer breaks his way through the tackles. Hand pass to Hewitt. Low down to Walsh. Confronted. Flings it over his head. Turned it over. Perryman barged his way clear. Kicks forward, but it is cut off by Akers. And plenty of it in the opening term. Goes a long way backward to Haynes. The switch across the goal face to Silvani. The Blues will come out the worn side of the ground. Doherty at the defensive 50. Thinking about straightening it all up to Wiedering. And now he'll come through Haynes instead, who slipped over but fortuitously took the mark. Haynes back to the near side. Kicks long. Now Lord will fly. Curnow slipped right underneath, went under the pack. McGovern ran straight into a tackle.
So De Koning's come up for his first spell of the game, which, I just don't know how you're going to get through a full season rucking for 40 minutes straight. And looks like Cripps has now gone into the ruck as a second ruck against McStay.
So they both do their work. Sidebottom nearly got a kick away. It's still in the congestion. Sidebottom gets it back, loops a handball wide though. Haynes and Schultz. The ball bounced unkindly for Haynes initially, but it hit him in the nose, and that meant he was still able to run onto it. Turned over. Nick Dacos. He turns it over. Gave it straight to Sard. Runs his full 15. Pulls it towards Frampton and Curnow. Frampton's got it. Curnow's got him. It's in there somewhere. Under legs. Houston gets there. Dropped it. Tied off the deck. Coming hard. Maynard the other way. Gave it to Josh Dacos. Gave it to Frampton. Half back flank. Spears it straight to Chera. Blues about to go back into attack.
Chera without hesitation. He liked the look of Cripps. He overkicked him. Warner paddles it out of bounds.
It's a stalemate at the moment, Jared. Dwayne, it's a bit messy. A bit messier than the first quarter. The conditions probably got something to do with that. It looks like it's dried up a little bit, but it's just a field position game at the moment. Knock-ons are important. Not overuse. Still high pressure.
Simo for MEGT. Build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts. Out the throw in. Walsh and Lipinski duel at the back. It's a stalemate. AFL Nation is for 4 and 20 Traveller, and for Elders you can rely on Elders. Young flips it out the back. Fogarty gets it to boot. No real penetration in the kick though. It hangs for a long time. Chris had his kick smothered. Frampton working underneath. Chera gathers. Rounded up by Maynard. Lipinski has a go. Maynard still trying to create something. Houston out the side with a degree of risk. Cripps threatened. Moyer off the ground. Missed the target. Missed the lot. Slides away for a throw-in on the opposite side of goal.
Thinking about this and what Carlton can do for the second half, if they can get an even contribution in this period, not rely on the 5 or 6 players that just carry the whole side. If some of these second and third year players can step up and give a bit of energy in the second half for the senior players.
Well, Young's one of those second tierers, if you like. He does the ruck work. Crisp gets on the end of it. Gave it to Josh Dacos. Confident enough with the slippery turf to have a bounce. Heads to the wing, and it's a good two-handed grab at the highest point by McStay. He plays on quickly, goes on to Mychek. Hasn't had a big night yet. De Goey's about to pounce. Forward pocket. They come at him. He took control. He spun into a jam. Meet the sandwich. Gone.
A bit of rust in that one, boys. It was a clear handball over the top. It was on. Should have given it straight away.
A free kick, Silvani. Back pocket Blues, who lead 23-21. That's on the Mate Internet and mobile scoreboard. Short to Doherty, centre half back. Goes to Williams, centre half back. Back to Holland, centre half back. Back to Williams, centre half back. Gone. Wrapped up. Should have been ball. Could have been ball. Wasn't ball. And the Collingwood fans say, how about ball? Monty, you had Pryor and he dropped it. We need an 8-umpire system.
Just one good one, Dwayne. Just one good one. Hollins is finding hard for it. Doherty, De Goey steamrolling through. Walsh cuts it off in defence. Still has to be dealt with. Bobby kept it in dispute. Played for the high and got it. Went low, drew the draping arm.
See Cripps come off the ground for a spell. De Koning to come back on. That forward pressure is just, you can see it, can't you? When they sense there's a bit of overuse and panic from any team, let alone Carlton, that's when they're at their best. Really should have been 2 free kicks in the last 20 seconds.
Bobby Hill with the set shot. It'll have to go every bit of 50. 16 goalless minutes in this second term. Bobby watches the seconds count down. He's on the runway. Bobby Hill launches from the 50. It's no good. He's near side the whole way through for behind. The Maggies are down by 1 on the Mate Internet mobile scoreboard.
Sard entrusted with the kick in. 16 minutes gone, second term on the New Tech clock. New Tech automation for manufacturing. Goes to the pocket to Doherty. He bites off the inside kick. Almost Mychek. It was a good kick in the end. Williams got it. Gave it to Sard and the Blues are out. Chip kick to Hollins. centre half back. He chips it wide. We're still at half back. Chera's got it. Goes wide. White's look good, the debutant. He's got it on the wing. It's on the stand side. Holds it up. Takes some time. Goes with the down of the line. 40-metre kick, but it's on the full. He's turned it over. He bit off more than he could chew there in an attempt to get it to Kemp, and it's Collingwood's ball.
It's the third out in the full this quarter. Lacking just a tiny bit of polish. They're not far off the Blues. They've been pretty good.
Houston has the kick. Ever so well up the line to Lipinski.
I've seen Collingwood do this plenty of times before, where the kick from here is more direct, more corridor, more aggressive.
Lipinski finds Myercheck.
It's a pull kick.
You make a really good point though, Simo, because the players get attuned to something that is a trend. So they would block the corridor, but then something against the trend is the change-up that you need.
It's really obvious when you scout Collingwood. They point where they're going to kick it. So everyone knows, but they still seem to find a way to get that connection.
Brody Myercheck's turn from long range gives it the lot. It's across the face and helped through for a behind. So scores a level. 3 behinds in 18 minutes of this term on the Mate Internet mobile scoreboard. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
From a coaching point of view, you're thinking, well, whose game is this at the moment? Who's happier? And I really can't tell. I think both sides have got parts of the game in pretty good order, and both sides can work on some different areas, and hence the no scoring, and the scores are level halfway through the second quarter.
So Saad to walk to Silvani, but they're still inside defensive 50, and now the aggressive kick down the middle, beautifully delivered to Chera. They're out here, the Blues. They're off and running. Collingwood folding back, and maybe it's too slow a movement. He goes to Saad. They want to get it to Saad for his run, but it allowed Collingwood to set their zone up. Short to Williams. He's still at half back. And now the looping ball, Maynard, he doesn't swallow it, Maynard. So it's a live ball, chaos ball, half forward. Cripps couldn't trap it. Fogarty lays a tackle. 50 from Carlton's goal. There's 7-8 players on it. And really get a ball up.
I'm impressed with Carlton's back half ball movement. From what I saw against Hawthorn a few weeks ago, it's definitely something they've been working on over the last couple of weeks.
Training gets rid of his opposing ruckman. Motlop works hard underneath, but to no avail.
So you're a 2-ruck guy, Simo?
I was when it was working. Then it stopped working. So it's horses for courses. Teams are more and more now just playing the 1 ruck and a makeshift 2nd ruck, which you can really expose if you get a mismatch at some stage. So sometimes you try and change your rotations to get that mismatch.
Ball back in the hands of the up for Maccas. The hot honey range at Maccas has dropped. Chera works it up to full forward for the Blues. Loose ball off hands. Fogarty closing. Houston's just did enough to bring him to ground. Kemp ended up with it. Missed the kick badly. Out across the face of goal, and another out on the full from the Blues in this second term. They have been wayward and they are scoreless.
So Maynard back pocket. Had plenty of time there, according to the replay from Makita XGT, 40-volt max, more time than he thought he had. Maynard from the back pocket, heads wide. Over the head of Cameron. Ball fell to Nick Dacos, who he arched the back. In fact, it was Bobby Hill out there, arched the back. Got the handball off to Membry. He goes long, high, Myercheck. Up he flies, can't mark it. Fell to Williams. His chip kick to Lord. Wrapped up by Pendlebury, and he just dropped it. But he had no prior, so the umpire said it was made an attempt. Or not clearing the tackle. Take your pick, but that's the reason they cut him some slack. Lipinski inside 50. Could have been front on contact. Free kick to Collingwood and McStay. He wore one, and he wore a heavy one. And he's not getting up in a hurry. Now he gets up. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
They tend to jump up when it's a free kick, 45 out, these forwards, but another forward half turnover. This is the Collingwood DNA that we're used to. This is the 4th one of the quarter. They haven't capitalised. When their pressure's up like that, really hard to stop.
Looking at that replay again for Makita XGT 40-volt max. It was when McStay hit the ground and landed on his back that he hurt himself and not the spoil to the ear. But this is for the lead now, and he misses. And they're in front by a behind, 24-23. And we've still got 4 minutes 48 in the second term left for New Tech. Optimise your business with automation.
Still without a goal. Williams brings it into the field of play. Howe was always favoured by it, though. Front edge of the centre square. Jeremy Howe. Plenty of players still inside. Side bottom came on a short lead. Kick goes longer. Stays coming from a long way back. He made the punch. Nick Dacos couldn't create anything boundary side. Throw it in.
When you're looking at this game now, you're looking at individuals. Okay, the game's pretty tight. Who can step up? Quaino's only had 2 possessions. Curnow hasn't really had much of an impact on the game. Cripps has only had 8 possessions for the game, so you look at individuals as much as system.
Collingwood have it forward. Carlton have the ball. Williams bounces it outside the 50. Curnow kicked it over his shoulder. It didn't go very far. Quaino right on cue. Simo, he's there to gather. Hand pass to side bottom. Caresses the ball inside for Degoe.
There's another one, Degoe. Hasn't had any impact at the moment.
Between the wing and right half forward for the Pies. Degoe signals his intention to kick it in long, and so he does. Myercheck's in the hole.
You see, it's so frustrating when you're a coach and you scout it and you tell your players, listen, when he points, that's where he's going to kick it. And unless it's a pull kick that's just a special play. But essentially, we all know where it's going. And whether you take a bit off the kick or not, every time they enter 50 on a slow play, they'll point to where they want to kick it. It used to be to Cox to bring it to ground. Now it's more for a mark.
Brodie Myercheck, surely the first goal of the second term, deep in time on. No, he's hit the right-hand post. So the Pies out of yet another behind. They have kicked 5 of those in this term, and the Blues are scoreless. She's not going to go on and name the game this quarter, is she?
Not going to shoot it into space to try and get a few to follow us in planets afar.
At least it's close.
That's true.
Carlton is still in the game, and we just hope it doesn't play out like it normally does.
A Wiedering to Lord on half-back flank for the Blues. Short to McGovern. Nice ball used to the middle. He goes to Williams. Back to Lord. He runs half-back and he launches. Heads wide. Makes its way to Akers. He looks up. He's got Chera on the move. This is a perfect move from the Blues. And lace out with a ribbon on it. Well, Hewitt might get it on the flyby from Kemp. And there's our first goal of the second term. Coast to coast from the Blues. And that'll give them some encouragement. That was they're able to execute. 4-5-29 plays 3-7-25 with 2:39 left in the second term. The score for Mate, Internet Mobile, and our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, Adam Simpson.
Spoke about this before, about their back half ball, but it's a real strength tonight, and whether it's something they've trained and worked on or give the ball to the right type of players. We saw bomb kicks 3 or 4 weeks ago and consistent turnovers in their back half. Tonight, when they get out off the turnover, they're looking really dangerous. They're looking for the corridor, they're looking for overlap. They're falling down a little bit in the front half, but to get it from D50 to centre forward, that's something you'd show at half time. It's just the last bit of connection inside your forward 50 you need to address.
Kemp again shows himself as the flexible player. Flexelt, the only flexible on lice treatment for sheep. Blues by 4. 2.5 to go in the term. Ball to be won in the middle. Socket off the ground by Cameron. Degoe's on the follow-up. Almost has it. Does. Tackled by Walsh. Released it near Hill. Couldn't quite gather. Holland's brought down. Ball up. Jason to the centre square. Pies slightly into attack. Johnny reached up. Cripps played a bit of volleyball. Degoe left it behind. Cripps dispossessed. Hewitt comes through. Off the ground goes Sard. Indiscriminate ball. Up comes side bottom. Spins out and then into trouble. Got caught by Walsh. Holding the ball. Walsh's ball. Eager to move it. Plays the worn wing. Akers has made space. Didn't quite mark. Goes back and gets it. Dabs it up the line to Young. Akers kept going by. Young didn't give it. Instead, he kicks close to the boundary. He hasn't given anyone any chance there. And Frampton leads up on Moyer and takes the mark.
So the 1 minute signs are on the bench at the moment. Hampton in the back pocket. Ashley has 1:20 to play with. He hits wide and high, and Young got up there, couldn't mark it. Hewitt almost crumbed it. Ball knocked away from Nick Dacos, but it went to side bottom to Myercheck. Further on to McCreary, and Wiedering takes him out. And they get a ball in on the wing. Time enough for a score to either team. Ball on the wing. Packed Southern stand. Second term for Mate Internet and Mobile. All about to be tossed in the light quarter in terms of goals scored. And the ball tossed almost sideways. De Koning to Akers to Cripps. Long towards half forward, and Waynor stops the rot. Goes inside. Now, will they go here? Houston, he chips it to DeGoey. He looked around. He's got it on the wing. Big chance for a late score for Collingwood.
Needed a bit of overlap run, so Pendlebury obliged. Steers the pass towards McCreary, just a fraction too much on it. Wiedering came out, and he settles it all down. Gives it off to Akers. Kicks up the wing. Hewitt onto the loose ball. Hand passes up to Lord. Wanted something inboard. Curnow set. Frampton arrived to make the spoil. DeGoey, one more look perhaps. Straight through centre half forward. No mark. Pizer after the ground ball. Sard had a fresh area off the ground. Schultz got tackled by Sard. Got it again. Kicked it into Akers. So the Blues pressure in defence holds up. Williams around to Hewitt. Kicks it out the wing for Walsh, who doesn't take the mark. But he is onto the loose ball. Fed it up to De Koning. Slipped over. Confronted by Quaynor. Hand pass to Walsh. Runs into Cameron. Fashions a kick somehow forward. Houston handled the half volley. Hand pass to side bottom. And that'll get us to half time. Ding, 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 ding. But just couldn't get through at either end.
Signs weren't really heeded to, because it was let's go kamikaze for the last minute. Both teams, they might have forgotten there was a minute to go.
It's the Blues by 4 points at the main break. They led by 3 at quarter time. 4-5-29 to 3-7-25. Collingwood 5 behinds in that term. Carlton 1 goal. Goal kickers Hollins, Cripps, Hewitt and Curnow for the Blues. DeGoey, Maynard and Perryman for the Pies. AFL Nation is for the 4 and 20 traveller. And Elders, you can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the latest tech. New notebook computers in-store now from just $348. Run out prices on LG 2024 TVs, big screens, king-size screens, all screens on sale. Save 10% on selected AEG kitchen appliances plus 10-year warranty, and huge $1 upsize deal on bedding. Buy a selected queen-size mattress and upsize to a king for $1 more. Harvey Norman, hot deals store-wide. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
For 185 years, Elders Real Estate has been embedded in the fabric of our country. So when it's time to buy or sell in your part of Australia, you need a trusted name. Someone who knows Australian real estate like no other, who understands that it's not just a house, it's your past, it's your focus, it's your future. Someone with a network that runs deep right across Australia. There's one name you can rely on. Elders Real Estate.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts, and only one of you. Why don't you just go say every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's goats in your corner. Make sure you're looking for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
Hey guys, here at GYG, we believe in serving our guests the highest quality food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. At GYG, we will never compromise on the quality of our food. Because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
At CommBank, we're proud backers of Melbourne's business yakka. No matter what business you're in, or what size your ambition, we've got the tools, tips and tech to keep you kicking financial goals. Whether you need cash flow support, to buy new equipment, or take payments in person or online, we're here to keep Melbourne business moving. So talk to one of our local specialists today. Search CommBank Business.
Hitting the road this Easter holiday period? Hop into Metro Petroleum and fill up with quality fuel. Need that fill up for yourself? Why not grab one of these excellent deals? Mr. Whiffy ice cream cups in vanilla bean and chocolate flavours, only $3.50 each or 2 for $6. Need more? Smith's 45-gram chips and a Pepsi Max 440ml for just $4. Why not add a delicious Nestle medium-sized bar to this deal for $2 more? Offers available April 1st to April 30th at all 350 Metro Petroleum locations.
Sitting around waiting while the car gets washed? Forget doom scrolling. Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app today.
ESPN now streaming on Disney+. Stream the latest and greatest of NBA, UFC, MLB, NHL, WNBA and more.
Oh, what a step from Curry!
Cheer on.
Ohtani, the greatest day!
Party on.
Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
Dream on. One destination for a new generation of streaming. ESPN on Disney+.
The long wait is over.
Turn it on.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. For all your crop protection, seed and fertiliser needs. And 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food.
Makes its way to Akers. He looks up. He's got Jarrett on the move. This is a perfect move from the Blues. And lace out with a ribbon on it. Well, Hewitt might get it on the flyby from Kemp. And there's our first goal of the second term. Coast to coast from the Blues.
Just finishing the sushi. Eddie, I just didn't quite take the cue at the right time. AFL Nation for Elders. For Australian Agriculture recruiting now, and for 4 and 20 Pies. It is Carlton by 4 points over Collingwood, 4-5-29 to the Pies, 3-7-25 as we hit the halftime floor show for Choices Flooring. Quality interiors start from a Choices floor.
The halftime floor show for Choices Flooring. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser.
Adam Simpson, what are your overall thoughts of what we've seen?
It's been a grind, Jared. We thought it was going to be a high-scoring turnover-to-turnover transition game, and what I have seen is both sides are aggressive off the half-back line, so not being scared to take on the corridor, in particular off intercept plays. So from a stoppage, it's been pretty scrappy, but from a turnover point of view, both teams are getting it from D50 to centre forward pretty easily, to be honest. I think they'd both be reflecting in when you get to half time, you show probably 3 clips. One maybe, hey, listen, this is how we expose Collingwood or Carlton, and one, we got to tidy this up. And then the other part is the matchups. So you'll talk about that as a coaching group. I think both of them will be giving a big tick on their back half ball movement. They'd both be looking at how they're going to convert their ball movement in the front half. So whether it's a bit slippery, it's a bit wet, it's a bit hot, let's just get it to a position, or let's lower our eyes and try and connect. Because we've seen some pretty good flow to a point, and then there's been a turnover game. So from a numbers point of view, I mean, nothing's jumping off the page from any particular team has got an advantage. Carlton are plus 11 at the contest, and most of that's pre-clearance. So playing to their strength in that space. And Collingwood, they dominated from a score some stoppages point of view in the first quarter, but it's really evened itself up in terms of the general numbers. So both teams wouldn't try and reinvent the wheel at half time. It'd be right, let's get back and do what we started at the start of the game, and let's go and put it on a couple of the not the A graders but the B and C graders to play their part, especially for Carlton, because it's going to get halfway through the last quarter again, and we all know it's coming, and we want Walsh, Cripps, Kerno, we want them to stand up. They've got to have the energy to do it. So I'm a little bit worried about De Koning. He's rucked, I reckon he's rucked 55 minutes out of 60. And I just wonder, do you front end that a little bit more? Do you actually ruck him less in the first half so he can finish off the game? You just don't want to see Cripps rucking for 10 minutes in the last quarter like we've seen in the past. So, yeah, this is playing to script a little bit. Good effort, contest, tight game. I just hope it doesn't play to script in the second half for the Blues.
Carlton have been thwarted by some of their kicking as the final touch, like 4 or 5 out of bounds on the full in that second term.
Yeah.
So squandering good moments.
Sometimes you hear the rhetoric about the kicking in connection and you try and be better at connection when it's just, hey, this is my wheelhouse is to get it to advantage long. And that was mine as a player. Just, where's Duck? Just try and kick it to him and make me look good. I think they've probably got 8 players who, where's Kerno? Just kick it to him and give him supply. He needs to have 15, 20 target opportunities where he can make something out of nothing. I don't think that's happening a lot. It's more, where's a nice kick I can execute, or it's a rush kick that's gone out in the full. So I don't think tonight's raining again now. It's the start of the rain. I don't think it's about pretty marks inside 50. I think it's about deep entries and locking it in there.
Let's tick through our categories. Who's making it look easy for Monarch Painting? Kick off your next painting project with Monarch. Painting made easy, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Is Walsh back? I feel like he might be. Just for this, 17 possessions, 5 contested, 10 uncontested. Metres gain's not fantastic, but him just getting his hands on the ball looks like it normally does back in the day. Looks easy.
Monarch Painting made easy, available at Bunnings Warehouse. Who is the toughest player for Truckline? Keep your truck on the move with Truckline.
I reckon we saw this in the first round, or the round against Carlton when they played Hawthorn, when just don't kick it to Wiedering, because he's just stopping everything at the moment and nothing's changed. So he looks as tough as nails.
The unmissable moment for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Everyone who had a set shot is probably the unmissable moment. I don't have, maybe the little blue with the 2 powder puffs at quarter time.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed Nick Dacos's needless tackle on Patrick Cripps.
Which just had, he was one of the powder puffs.
That rippled onto Walsh.
It did, yeah.
Dacos.
They're not powder puffs, but they're not in MMA, are they?
No, they're not. The crucial moment of the first half, a New Farm Australian through and through. It's the George Hewitt goal. It was the only goal of the second term. It came from an end-to-end move from the Blues.
Absolutely.
The breakout player of the first half for Australian Outdoor Living, bringing backyard dreams to life.
Well, we've spoken about White, but I think Lords, as a midfield, he's had 13 possessions. If he can come in and contribute with a 20-plus possession game and play a bit of a role, I think he's been the one that stood out.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Save on your new prescriptions at Chemist Warehouse. Tomorrow night's changes: Geelong and Melbourne. Stewart and Manor in for the Cats. Nevitt and Clark are the outs. Windsor, Pickett, Spargo and Turner in for the Ds. Billings, Johnson, Howes and Lindsay are the outs for Melbourne. The power play rankings for Red Energy: 100% Australian electricity and gas. Acres 76, Walsh 74. Then Williams, Doherty and Chera all 55. Darcy Cameron 54. So the top 2, 4, 5 of Blues. Darcy Cameron's the leading pie, with Scott Pendlebury just behind him. Who is a flexible player that we can see move in the second half?
I haven't seen too many moves in the first half, but 2 goals from halfbacks in the first quarter with Hollins and Maynard, I think probably just shows you the pressure that's on the game, because they both come from overlap feedback handballs. So I'll take those 2.
Flexalt, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep. Who is the tackler of the first half for Bar Crusher Boats, Australia's ultimate fishing weapon?
I think Quano laid a really nice tackle at one stage, and I can't remember who tackled De Goey in that when he took on 4 people when he should have handled. Yes, yep. Those 2.
That was the Choices Flooring halftime floor show. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser. It's Carlton by 4 points, and the rain is really coming down now at the G. As we go to the break, let's hear the goal of the first half for Beaumont's Tiles' last day's Beaumont sale.
The goal of the day for Beaumont's Tiles. Some 50% off. Discounts ending soon.
Side bottom got there. He's got McCreary. He ignored it. He shook a tackle. Went inside to Ngoe. Got it 45 from goal directly out. Not sure he's seen it much tonight yet, but he's got it now with a chance to put Collingwood into the lead with 2 minutes left in the opening term. Concentrates. He's over it. 48 metres out, and he has split the middle.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. For all your crop protection, seed and fertiliser needs. And 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food.
Looking for your next fishing weapon? Bar Crusher is Australia's leading fishing boat builder. That's because Bar Crusher boats lead the industry in design excellence and quality to ensure they produce the most advanced plate aluminium fishing boats on the market. Get your ultimate fishing weapon in 2025. Find Bar Crusher boats at Bar Crusher Melbourne on Quality Drive, Dandenong, or build your dream boat online at barcrusher.com.au.
I do enjoy gardening. I'm a bit of a green thumb, catching up with friends and family. I'm a pretty social person.
Outside of work, I read a lot. I do a bit of crafty stuff.
Every Monday I do the cooking at the Soup Kitchen in Geelong on Maribel Street and cook breakfast for about 65 people.
I like to travel once a year, go away on a fairly decent holiday somewhere in the country.
Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Take advantage of the VEU government rebate and trade in your old gas heater for huge discounts on ducted reverse cycle systems, multi-splits or split systems.
Our service is professional. Prices are unbeatable. We're the biggest and the best, and we do it all for less. So who you gonna call? Weatherworld.
For your free quote, visit weatherworld.com.au.
Since the beginning, Monarch has made painting easy. Because let's face it can be frustrating when using the wrong tools. You know the ones, rollers giving poor patchy finishes, finding loose brush hairs everywhere, and mistakes you just can't unnotice. Oh, don't settle for subpar results. With Monarch, you can feel confident tackling any project and experience the joy of achieving the perfect finish with ease. Monarch, painting made easy. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus has delivered strong performance over the long term with top returns over 20 years. A top performing super fund over the long term? That's a plus. Based on super ratings data as at December 2024. Consider the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. Search Compare Host Plus today.
Every go-your-own-way knows. Adventure starts with an Isuzu D-Max. Whether you're tackling the toughest terrain, taking off for the weekend, or heading to work, there's an Isuzu D-Max for you. Right through the range, every D-Max is stacked with loads of tech and safety, ready to help you go your own way. Explore the Isuzu D-Max range at your local Isuzu Ute dealer today.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's Coats in your corner. Make sure don't for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
ESPN now streaming on Disney Plus. Stream the latest and greatest of NBA, UFC, MLB, NHL, WNBA, and more.
Oh, what a step from Curry!
Cheer on.
Ohtani, the greatest day!
Party on.
Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
Dream on. One destination for a new generation of streaming. ESPN on Disney Plus.
The long wait is over.
Turn it on.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. For all your crop protection, seed and fertiliser needs. And 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food.
Half-time here at the MCG, maybe 88, 89,000 in the house. Maybe we'll get over 90. It looks a little empty at the moment in a few bays because the rain has come down at half-time. A few have run for cover, but the second half not far from getting underway on AFL Nation. For the 4 and 20 sausage roll and for Elders, you can rely on Elders. If you haven't been with us from the outset, Carlton led at quarter time by 3 points, 3-2 to 3-5, and they lead now by 4 points, 3-7 to 4-5. They kicked the only goal of the second term, and this third term is brought to us by Deutz Fahr Tractors. The Deutz Fahr Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au. Our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, is Adam Simpson. We'll hear more from Adam shortly. MEGT built a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts, and there is maybe a big moment coming tribunal-wise this week with the Houston bump, which will be analysed. Didn't look like he was going for the ball, shaped the bump and caught some head contact, and that might end up being one of the bigger moments for Bendix Brakes. Put your foot down with confidence at Bendix Brakes. And there has been a number of contenders, maybe for point of the night, but there hasn't really been too many goal of the night contenders because it is a low-scoring game, 4-5 to 3-7. But when we do get a goal of the day, we'll bring it to you for Beaumont Tiles. Discount now on at Beaumont Tiles. Players are out on the field. The rain has gone away for the time being, which is the good news story. And Adam Simpson is with us, as is Bharat Sundaresan, one of our cricket gurus, has been good enough to enter the house as being part of the Carlton Footy Club's cheer squad earlier today. But Simo, what do you make of, what do you think is going to happen early in this third term?
The only difference I can see from a stats point of view is Carlton have had 136 uncontested possessions to Collingwood's 92. So it looks like Collingwood's adapted to the weather in a different way. It's more direct, it's more knock-ons, it's more forward handballs, which is sort of the way they play. And with the rain coming down again, I just wonder if that stands up a bit longer than the uncontested. They've had 20 more marks, Carlton and Collingwood, but they're both sort of working. They're both sort of not working at the same time. So this is a big quarter for both clubs. I suspect there might be little tweaks, but not a lot. I think position-wise, everyone looks like in the same roles. So it just comes down to who can do their own style better.
They're not tagging Nick Dacos in the middle at the moment. Cripps is near Nick Dacos, but they're about 5 or 6 metres away. Cameron and De Koning to go at it to start this second half. It's Perryman who's in the middle as well, standing next to Chera. And side bottom in the middle with Hewitt. Nick Dacos left alone, gets the clearance. He gave it off the side bottom, floats it to half forward. De Goey stays down and almost a mark to Schultz. It is a mark. He just clutched it before it hit the deck, and he'll line up at goal to kick Collingwood's first goal since the opening term from about 51.
It hasn't hurt them all night, Carlton, having an extra tall, but McGovern on Schultz, that's probably one of the areas where he should have an advantage. So really good mark.
So Schultz is directly out. Has he got this kick in him? The rain stops, so that's a good news story for Schultz. In he comes. He kicks from 51. He got under it, and it's wide. Chance for the leapers to go up. McStay went by fist. Didn't try to mark it. Ball still at the top of the goal square. Cripps can't handle it. Fumbled it. Knocked it. Overran it. Still alive. McStay lays the tackle on Wiedering, and we'll get a ball up forward pocket for Collingwood. 29 plays 25. The Blues lead early stages third term, brought to us by Deutz Fahr Tractors.
Up she goes. Akers took it from the stoppage. Didn't do a whole lot with it. Side bottom from the boundary. Centering ball. Just a bit too sharp for all. Lipinski chases out the far side. Membry's with him. Motlop, though, runs interference. Toes it forward. Josh Dacos runs the other way. Lipinski paddles. Motlop's done ever so well. Slides in a second time and sees it to the boundary as a throw-in. 55 or 60 metres out from the Collingwood goal. And De Koning link up. Ball reaches the back. Whistle. Free kick to Collingwood. Push. Cameron's ball. Houston's lurking. Cameron signals that he's going to kick it in deep. And does precisely that. Slewed off the side of the boot, though.
Kicking it out of bounds on the full, boys. Everyone get ready.
Yes. Not where it was intended to be.
Rain starting to tumble down again now. So we might get this for the rest of the night. Rain on, rain off. Doherty Pulls the kick shortish, and McGovern can't mark it on the second grab. It's alive for De Goey. Got it out to Perryman. A little fumble from Nick Dacos, and now he's cautiously taken to the deck by Hewitt.
Is that cautious?
I thought he
lifted his legs off the ground.
Yes. He knew that he'd lifted his legs off, so he didn't dump the head first into the deck. He saved it late from my angle. Haynes couldn't get a decent kick. Nick Dacos might be into the back of Hewitt. A few Carlton fans thought it was a deserved free kick their way, but we'll get another ball up on attacking 50 for Collingwood. Cameron slaps it back. Nick Dacos almost held before he got it, but then he did get it, and he was grabbed and he dropped it. But no prior opportunity was the word from the umpire. Another ball up, flung in the air. De Koning, Cameron, a little ugly at the moment. De Koning got it, rode the bump, lost it. He was tackled. Could have been ball. His ball. So the free kick count starting to even up a little, with Collingwood getting a couple of early ones. Push and shove as there was just before half-time, and it's Lockie Schultz to have a shot again. I think
the only thing that's different from the first half is that stoppage is we've got a wingman. Oh, here we go, Houston.
So he hands it off to Houston, who launches long and wide. They're behind.
They're playing an extra behind the play, Carlton, in stoppages. They've got their fat side winger pulling back as a seventh defender.
Blues by 3. Silvani marked the kick in, didn't find a target on the way out. It's out of bounds for a throw-in.
These situations, if you want to support your back half, you can do it from the fat side winger. Crisp is holding his position. Akers is supporting the 50.
Magpies have kicked 6 behind since quarter time. Tossed in. Cameron to the front. Perryman got worked over. Nick Dacos gathers low down. Gives it to Perryman on the turn. Floats it inside the 50. Schultz tried to go with the flight. Haynes slid in front. Side bottom. Just missed it on a kick along the ground, and Saad has it as a result. He's blasting it out on the full.
What's the record for out the fulls?
I reckon it's held at Carlton Park by an away team.
Was it West Coast?
No.
Kicking it away a bit too often. Perryman sends the Pies back inside the 50. Elliott worked his way to the front, then dropped the mark on the way down. He had it cold. Gives it to De Goey on the tidy up, and De Goey snaps a goal. At last, Collingwood find the target, and they claim the lead. 4:8:32 to Carlton 4:5:29 on the Deutz Fahr Tractors scoreboard.
Finally, a team pays the price for an out in the full play. Saad, rush kick. If he had his time again, he would have taken a little bit more time to keep it in play. Return entry from Collingwood. Nothing much to it. Elliott should have taken the mark. He would have thought he hit the ground. He followed up. De Goey running through the corridor. And we've seen that type of play before where the ball hits the deck. Collingwood's front half, they're pretty dangerous, and with Carlton just being slightly taller, that's one of the risks they go into this game, especially if it's wet.
Third turn brought to us by Deutz Fahr Tractors, the Deutz Fahr Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au. The replay for Makita XGT, more power, more efficiency, more Makita. De Goey hasn't had a big impact, but he's squeezed that in for his second. Back in the middle. De Koning, Cameron, ball knocked down to Nick Dacos again. He got away. He danced around a couple. He's being hunted down. He gets a handball further forward to Pendlebury. 60 from goal. Floats it inside 50 to Schultz. He's having some sort of quarter Schultz. And Dacos with a couple of clearances, starting to stamp his name on it.
Well, great play from Collingwood. If you're Carlton and you're in the box, there's a few little red lights flashing. One of them is Dacos. The other one is centre bounces. You do start to have a conversation about, okay, if we concede another one, what's our move?
Collingwood couldn't kick a goal in the second term. Schultz lines up for their second of the third term, which is now 7 minutes old. It's a goal. Just crept it in, and Carlton fans have seen this movie before. They've led at half-time quite a bit this year and then coughed up leads late. Well, Carlton's led at quarter-time, half-time, but they don't lead now. It's 5-8 Collingwood, Carlton 4-5-29. And that's on the Deutz Fahr Tractor scoreboard with 6 minutes gone third term.
really difficult to stop mindset sometimes. And if anyone out there is thinking from a Carlton point of view, here we go again, it will happen. So your leaders need to be vocal, get your best players around the ball, just get some field position as Carlton's objective the next 5 minutes, and maybe put a bit of work into Dacos. He's having a bit of an impact.
They had him in pretty good check. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 sausage roll and Elders. You can rely on Elders. Pies by 9. Bounce in the middle. DeConing clean tap. Cripps turn to go. Didn't gather cleanly. Goes off the ground instead. Cut off by Houston. Slapped it on the boot near the wing. McCreary knocked it on. Sard comes out. Just blasts it and did okay. So it finds Doherty. For a bit of field position, the Blues. Up the line he goes. And Hewitt right against the boundary. It's, I beg your pardon, it is White right up against the boundary. Takes the mark. The debutant puts the Blues up into the forward pocket. Moyer underneath, close to the boundary, couldn't take the mark. Maynard's hand pass to Crisp against the boundary. Off to Moore. Quaynor knocked it on rather than taking it over. How wise was that? He has to get on and fight the fight and force the ball up.
As good as you want if you're the Blues, just to get a bit of field position. It's not pretty. You don't have to get a goal straight away, but you just don't want to concede 3 in a row.
Down by 9, up near the 50. Cameron and DeConing end up slapping out the side for a throw-in.
Quite a start to the year, boys. He hit his straps just yet, has he? Hasn't had that same spark he had a few years ago.
Yeah, from memory, same last year, wasn't it? He wasn't quite at his A grade.
Yeah.
Isaac Quaynor State back into play. DeConing backhands it, and somehow Nick Dacos steals it. Gave it to his brother Josh. Kicks it around the body to Sard though. Takes the mark on the wing and goes and launches. Curno's under it. Curno more Curno. Lipinski jumped in, dropped it to the deck. Curno's got it caught. Dispossessed, could have been ball. I think they did pay it, but now Nick Dacos is on him, off and running to Pendlebury. Back to Nick. Oh, Doherty took him down. He wasn't aiming for ball. It was a legal bump, but boy, I'm not sure Dacos had it at the time. He was about to collect it. So the ball was within 5, and he could have hurt him big time. He's bounced up like a rubber ball, and now Chris has got it at half-back to Josh Dacos. Inside kick to Maynard, and he's got it at half-back for Collingwood.
Nick's a bit stung down on the wing. And chips it around with Josh Dacos.
He's got his hand up. What's that mean? Does it mean I'm off or?
It means kick the ball down the line. No, they want the ball kicked to a certain position. This is a set play. They'll get numbers to the fall.
Marchek comes to the front and he takes the mark. Silvani can do nothing about it.
Looks a little bit rattled though, Dacos, doesn't he? Yep. Running around like he was a couple of minutes ago.
Did he get dumped at quarter time as well? In that fracas?
Short from Marchek. Crisp.
This is a Collingwood mode we've seen before where it's not frenetic. It's just take your time, kick it to a spot, get numbers to the fall.
Crisp is going to put it up to full forward. See what they can conjure in the air. No mark. Marchek gliding through, taken down by Silvani. Bobby Hill runs into Cripps. Ball it up.
It's a really well drilled side, isn't it, when you see that? We've scouted this a lot for Collingwood, and it's so predictable, but you can't stop it.
Full forward for the Pies. Cameron edged it forward. Akers cut it off. Hand pass didn't get to Williams. Close to the boundary and over for a throw-in.
Amazing player to watch, Nick Dacos. How hard he works, how clever he is in certain situations, even when he knows he's not going to get the ball, and he just needs to break even with someone else who is going to get it. DeConing, Cameron, ball knocked to the front. Hewitt hands it to Williams. Carlton outside defensive 50. Maynard uses his body, engages Curnow, knocks it to the boundary but didn't get it across. White on the white line. Kicks it to Moore though. He's got it on the wing. He looks around, see what's on offer.
50 metres.
And he gets 50. It is evening up. Kemp over the mark. So Darcy Moore will have a crack at goal here, and he doesn't have a crack that often. He has kicked 67 of them, but he's played forward a bit as well. Hasn't kicked one this year. 67-39 is a pretty good strike rate. His kick will come from 50.
What do you reckon, Dwayne?
Straight through the middle.
Okay.
Throws a bit of grass in the air, Matty Lloyd style, wipes his hands on his dacks,
makes the distance.
He's arched over it. He's going to kick from right on the arc. In he struts. And he launches that pink boot into it. He's missed to the near side. Only a behind. And they've kicked a lot of those. 5-9. Plays 4-5. Collingwood lead by 10. 5-9 to 4-5 on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard. We've still got 12 and a half minutes to play on the new tech clock, third term.
McGovern got himself into a bind, kicked it short to Williams. Play on's the call back to McGovern, brushed his way clear of Nick Dacos, who's not quite right physically. Kicks it into the centre square where it turns over though. Schultz, Pendlebury out the front. Nick Dacos pulls the kick. Bouncing ball gathered by Membry. Opens it up on the turn and snaps a ripper. Collingwood hitting hard. 16-point leaders. And with the ball's in the hand of Mitch McGovern, I'm going to have to look away for the rest of the night.
It's actually really clear what's happening. Collingwood have gone into a mode which I've seen before where it's more kick mark, contest, let's get numbers, where we all know where the ball's going. Carlton haven't changed anything. They're chaos. Let's get this turnover game. Let's do what we did in the first half. And they haven't adapted to a point where they need to change the game. As Dacos comes off for a spell, I think he's fine. He's up to 6 possessions. He's part of the resurgence this quarter, but it's really, really clear about the two teams and the maturity of one and a little bit of panic from the other.
Little Collingwood chant rings around the MCG. This is their biggest lead of the game. It's anybody's biggest lead of the game. Ball back in the middle. Membry's going to have that kind of year where you think, is he in their best 18? And then he kicks 2 or 3, and of course he is the answer. 2 second rucks in the middle. Young, McStay. DeGoey overran it. Cripps went and got it. Gave it up to Hewitt. Running the wrong way now, running the right way. Gets it towards half forward. Floater. Houston gets up. Got it. Makes the mark at half back, and it's kind of in the right hands. Looks around to see what is on offer. He wants the inside kick or the aggressive kick. He goes to Josh Dacos, who's a good user as well. He's got Lipinski out wide. He hits him lace out. He's on the wing, chips it, penalty. Their confidence looks like it's grown, Collingwood. The belief is there. Stay in the game until half-time, and then we've got that second half Carlton to overcome. Chip kick wide to Lipinski. He's got it 90 from goal. Sends it inside 50, pulls it short. Get in there. Well, he picked their pocket, Perryman. Phenomenal. I'm not sure it was meant for him, but he made it his, and he took the mark 48 out. And this will hurt. This will make Carlton wonder. Going to kick from right on the arc, 45-degree angle. It's a Collingwood home game. You'll hear their fans go off here. He's going to take his best. In he struts. Kicked his first goal as a Magpie earlier. Hasn't got his second across the face.
17-point margin on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard. 16 minutes played. New tech clock automation for manufacturing. Wiedering with ball in hand from the kick in. And use it short to Walsh. Just waiting for the previous ball to come to him. Walsh and Perryman stole it from his grasp. Up to Hollands, that didn't look 15. Inboard. Oh, he was going for McGovern. Good Lord. And he's turned it over.
I reckon that wasn't going to be paid if Carlton marked it, but it was paid because Collingwood picked it off.
I'll check on the intercepts.
Indicative of what the game needs from the Blues at the moment. Probably doesn't need that. It needs predictability.
Brody Myercheck. Tough kick on a night where the ball is wet. Well outside the 50. Myercheck gives it all he's got. It's a good-looking kick. Touch and go, I reckon. Touch rather than go. It's sorted through on the line. They'll go to the replays from Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita. Score good. Umpire's call is touch from behind.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we'd see the ball's touched before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Padding numbers there, correct review. 18-point leaders, Collingwood. 47 plays, 29. Deutz Far.
Do you think they'll give it to us as a percentage later in the year?
Definitely. That goal umpire's just doing his duty for his brethren.
Right. even though it was pretty obvious from his angle.
He saw it perfectly. Perfectly.
Williams runs from fullback, launches long. Young, McStay, both there. Ball thumped back to the attacking 50 for Collingwood. Lord's got it, almost threw that over his head. Umpire said it was a handball. Maynard knocks it out, gets it out nicely for Josh Dacos. His hand off to side bottom was good. He bounces it to penalty, and that was, well, very throwish to McStay. But if you let Carlton do it, you've got to let Collingwood do it. And Membry can't nail his moment and kick the goal. Only behind. 6-11 now.
49 possessions
6-12,
to 26 at the moment, boys. It's just a dominance in field position and possessions. So Cripps has had 2. Walsh has had 1. They've just got to get their hands on the ball, but not in the chip kicks are in the back half.
Collins kicked it in long. Curnow was held in the contest. So what are the inside 50s for the quarter? So we're on the back of that. Dances around at half-back. He's been called to play on. Now he does so.
8-4.
Now did the body work on Kemp early. Dropped the mark though. Akers underneath. Hand pass to Walsh. Works it inboard to Young. Retreats a fraction. Curnow on the wraparound. Oh, does the bounce on the wet turf. It only barely comes back. Up inside the 50. What have they got in the air, the Blues? Not a whole lot. Kept away from Kemp and Moyer. And out of it. Third quarter domination. The lead should be more than it is. It's a wayward kicking of 6-12. Carlton need one against the flow right now. Young put it down for Fogarty. Released it goal side. Ball loose near the square. It's still trickling around. Moyer got a boot to it. It's through for a behind.
And corrected, Jared. It's 13-4 inside 50. So, I mean, they've done a reasonable job not to concede more scores. It's Collingwood haven't kicked straight, to be honest.
Maynard runs from fullback, pulls the kick late, gets it to Howe, and his kick was a mongrel. And Young falls, has to knock it, and that might not work. Umpire says I'll ball it up. Half back for Collingwood, half forward for Carlton. Point at the centre square. Outside attacking 50 for the Blues. And the 2 makeshift rucks. Well, in fact, it's Cameron against Young, so Collingwood had an advantage there. They might not get the clearance, though, although they will. Perryman's got it. He tried to loop a handball away from Sard, who blocked that opportunity. And we'll get another ball up this time on the wing. So,
sorry, Dwayne. Why they didn't do this in the first quarter, where they bank a bit of minutes the coning rather than halfway through the third. And you see there an easy clearance from Collingwood.
So Cameron wins it because he had the leverage. And he'll do the ruck work again at half forward here for Collingwood against Young. So again, as Simo said, they rucked to Koning for 40 minutes straight at the start of the game. Carlton have got to give him a rest, but he's warming up to come back on now. So ball back into play. Cameron almost wrapped up by Young. McCreary kicks it off the deck, roller towards the boundary, goes back in McCreary and strips Hewitt of the ball, of course, not of his pants. And it's 48-30. Collingwood lead 6-12 to 4-6 on the Deutz Far Tractor scoreboard with 7 minutes left in the third on the new tech automation manufacturing clock.
Down in the interchange gates. Ball on its way into play. DeConing back into the fray, taps it down. Hewitt put his head in the hole, released Cripps off to Akers, sidestepped into space, gives it back to Hewitt. Tosses it up to half forward for the Blues. Collingwood are pretty well set. Frampton did enough to be, or maybe he didn't. He got up and got it off quickly to Houston. Up the wing, Nick Dacos pushed in the back. Rain intensifying again. Nick brings it inboard to Josh. Houston wanted it in the middle. It would have been high risk.
I think there's a distinct change in the way Collingwood are playing. It's kick mark and then long to a contest.
Pendlebury brings it up to the 1-on-1. Sard against Elliott. Sard beat him cold. Won the wrestle, got to the front, takes the uncontested mark. Important moment, a big moment of Bendix breaks. Big moment, put your foot down with confidence. Bendix breaks. The Blues got to find a way to build on it. Sard kicks it to a contest. Cripps roves it, got tackled by Cameron, stuck the tackle hard, side bottom inboard. Josh Dacos links it up with Howe, checks the kick initially and then puts the boot right through it to the teeth of goal. Off hands, Bobby Hill fed it out in front of himself, gathered, doubled back, has a look, hand pass to Elliott, who swings it to the teeth of goal. Oh, Schultz, brilliant by the Pies, and Schultz marches it through for a goal. They are running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. That's 4 for the quarter in tricky conditions and a 4-goal lead to boot.
Spoken about fundamentals in the first 3 or 4 rounds, Jared, and not kicks, marks and handballs, but positional fundamentals. And I never see a Collingwood player, actually I do see it on occasion, snapping a goal from the boundary line when they could centre the ball. And it just gives predictability for the guys who are waiting for it at the top of the square. They know where it's going. And this whole quarter, the whole side knows where every possession's going at the moment. They're all on the same page. They've got the maturity as opposed to a younger Carlton side, but they handle the conditions well. They know what each other's doing. They know each other's strengths. And they've been dominant all quarter.
Our expert for MEGT build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts, Adam Simpson, the premiership coach from the Eagles, and they get the clearance again. Collingwood side bottom got it off, although it's stolen back by Chera. Gave it to Fogarty. His handball smothered by Quaynor. Motlop tried to knock on. Bad move. Picked up by Josh Dacos. His handball inboard. He missed his target, so he tries to go in to mop his mess up. Nick mops it up for him. Centre half forward for the Blues. The Nick Dacos kick smothered. Back into the hands of Fogarty. Wobbles it to full forward. Charlie came hard one way. Motlop came hard the other. He's the meat in the sandwich. And it'll be a ball up about 40 out from Carlton goal. And no need to tell you, Blues fans, you need one. You're 4-6 to Collingwood 7-12, 54 plays 30, 6 minutes left, third term.
It's really good to come now. Lipinski with a clearing hand pass picked off by Akers, dragged down in the tackle though. Side bottom got it as a result. Out the side, Williams and Quaynor see it over the boundary. Schultz working in defence that time as the tackler.
I think this is the way back into the game for the Blues, though. It's got to be probably a stoppage-based game. Get the best players to flex a little bit, get some repeat entries. It's not going to be pretty if they get back in this game.
Pies by 24. Cameron out the back. Sard attacked it hard, paddled it forwards. Motlop tackled Quaynor. Elliott, though, won the footy. Lipinski, Josh Dacos sweeps it into open space for Schultz. Hammers it up the line. McStay presents. Knocked it on rather than tried to mark. Holland's got beaten by the bounce and DeGoey. DeGoey will pop it up in front of Bobby. And Hill's got runners inboard, or he can take the set shot himself. He will take the set shots. 45-degree angle to the left, only 20 metres out from goal. Shot clock ticking. Bobby Hill for his first. Makes his direct approach to goal. And Bobby's missed it. Hands it out to the right for a behind. Collingwood by 25. AFL Nation for 4-20 sausage roll and Elders. You can rely on Elders.
Still plenty of time. The Blues are not out of it, but at the moment they're being outplayed comprehensively in this third, but three-quarter time not far away. McGovern chips it. Heart and mouth stuff again. Almost to kick off the deck from memory and almost kicking Hollands and giving a free kick away. Neither happened. Umpire said let it roll and we'll get a ball up. 55 from Collingwood's goal with 4 minutes left in this third term, brought to us by Deutz Far Tractors, that clock for New Tech, automation for manufacturing. Hewitt took it out of the air, looked like he had Pryor from here, and he did. Free kick. Collingwood's way.
Trying a bit too hard at the moment, Blues, aren't they? Just got to settle.
So Cameron, see if he bites off more than he can chew here. He's looking for a pass target, but it's not his forte, so he's going to launch it to the pocket. He sits it on Doherty's head. Ball flies to Mychek off hands. He can't quite trap it, ball in. But that's kind of an okay result for Collingwood. It's a ball in inside 50, and they can set it all up with a lead, 55-30.
4-0 thus far in this term. On its way into play inside the Collingwood 50. Cameron pats it down in front. Sard gathers, gave it to Doherty. They dive at the kick. Partial smother tipped up in the air. Nick Dacos threatened to come through with it. Came through without throwing it. Darcy Moore's just checking how long's left in the quarter. There's 3:23 to go. So moves down the field. Throw in. Cameron and DeConing shoulder to shoulder. Schultz dragged off his kick. Perryman around the side bottom. Links it up to Lipinski. And passes it forward around the boundary. Hewitt cut it off and runs it over the line for a throw in. Josh Dacos and Blake Akers leading possession getters on the ground. 24 apiece. It has been played in pretty constant rain. Magpies have dominated it. Shallow throw in. Hewitt gets hold of it, clears the area for the Blues. Kemp and Moore front position. Kemp took hold, gave away the free kick.
This will be a professional entry. He knows the time on the clock. He'll say he'll put his arm up. That's where I'm going.
And that is precisely what happens. Darcy Moore kicks it up to full forward. Myercheck front position. DeConing crashed the pack and takes a tremendous contested mark.
A goal here for the Blues before three-quarter time would almost be worth two. They need some confidence back. All thumped away from Chera by Perryman. And it's another ball in, half forward for Collingwood outside their attacking 50. Blues were 29 at half-time. That was their score. 4-5. They're now 4-6. They've had a one behind in this third term. Rain continues to tumble. DeConing slaps it down. Pendlebury-Reddick got there first. Throwaway. Pocket pick by Chera. Got it to Cripps. His handball a little too wide for Walsh, and they've fumbled it to the wing, at least the Blues, with 2 minutes left in the third term.
Type of things you can do, like Collingwood have gone to an extra behind the play because they're trying to end the quarter. If this happens next quarter, Carlton have got to look at equalising the game, pull your forwards back, do something a little bit different to disrupt the game.
So Howe is the spare, which means Collingwood should have one less around the ball, but they win the clearance. Pendlebury kicks it to Myercheck. Can't quite mark it. Ball knocked down to Hewitt. Gave it to Doherty. He hunts it wide. Pendlebury, well, he shepherded for Cameron, and he got away with it. He held Cripps off it legally, according to the umpire, and Cameron has it with 1:50 left, and he's on the wing for Collingwood, who lead 55-30.
Let's put that very close to the boundary and over in the arms of Doherty regardless. So it's a Carlton ball. Point margin. He sets it up for DeConing to have a fly. Cameron pushed him. And the Blues conjure this goal late. DeConing's going to give them a look. He kicks it up inside the 50. Rising was Kemp. Couldn't take the mark. Motlop underneath. Hand pass. Gave it up. Frampton works it around to Nick Dacos and side bottom. Collingwood bring it beyond the 50. Cameron stayed set up.
Professional.
How good was that?
Well, it's just timing of the game and what it's needed. Now we have a spare, so we can go lateral and use that spare until it gets equalised. Then we'll engage a skinnier play down the line.
Moore again with footy in hands. Long down the line. Silvani, Myercheck, Wiedering with the three flyers. Schultz underneath. Dragged to the boundary for a throw-in.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it in the Collingwood style, and it just happens every single time. And as much as you tell your players this is what's happening, they can't seem to stop it.
So any rush kick they've got in defence from inside 50, they know if they go wide, and there's going to be a play there waiting for it. Darcy Cameron, little floater. McStay gets there on the wing, knocked it. Walsh takes it to the line. We'll get a ball in.
That play right there, McStay clearly tried to knock that over for a stoppage. It's something you'd reward on a Monday. Okay, there's 2 minutes on the clock. Let's just look at McStay here. He doesn't want the ball. We want another stoppage to finish off the quarter.
So 38 seconds left. Ball into play on the wing. Cameron knocks it front. Side bottom knocks it further towards goal. Doherty will get there first. Pulled the kick. Perryman smothered it. Ball close to the boundary. Chera takes the cherry over. And we'll get a ball in with 26 seconds left on the wing. So the score for Deutz Far Tractors, Collingwood 7-13-55. Carlton 4-6-30. and they trailed by 4 points at half-time, Collingwood. They've dominated the third.
DeConing leaps in, won the footy, gives it away to Walsh and then to Doherty. Hoiks it up to the wing. Moore has control. From the moment he checked the time on the bench, he has controlled absolutely everything in the last 3.5 minutes. And he'll run the last of these seconds down as it kicks up inside the 50. Myercheck and Silvani. Silvani brought the ball to ground. The Magpies made their move in that third term, 4-0. They turned for home with a 25-point lead. 7-13-55 to Carlton, 4-6-30. 2 for De Goey and Schultz with singles to Maynard, Perryman and Membry. Well, for the Blues, it's 1 each to Hollands, Cripps, Hewitt and Curnow. Collingwood by 25 on AFL Nation for 4 and 20 sausage roll. And Elders, you can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for the Deutz-Fahr Warrior range. From 170 to 350 horsepower, it's Deutz-Fahr Evolve. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
Whether you're first-timing, upsizing, investing, or empty nesting, if you've found the right home, MeBank has the right loan for you. With great rates and support from a local mobile banker whenever you need it, there's no better time to let me help with your next move. Search MeBank Home Loans today or reach out to your local banker to get started. Me, making money good. Credit criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Installery.
For the hottest hot party you've ever seen. Cream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Want the assurance of an Aussie family-sized electric water heater with a 12-year cylinder warranty?
Installery.
Then accept nothing less than Australia's best.
All right, are you ready for another big weekend of footy? More importantly, are you stocked up with all the supplies you need for a big weekend of footy? Even if you realise you're running low after the first bounce, don't worry, DoorDash has you sorted. Get all the food, drinks and snacks you need delivered quicker than your team can turn a halftime lead into a final seconds nail-biter. Fire up the DoorDash app now. Your season ticket to footy deals.
Geelong fans, it's never been easier to rally around your team on game day. With SEN's Cats Radio. Catch every Geelong Cats home game called live right here on SEN and the SEN app. Cats Radio, thanks to GMHBA. Make the switch to GMHBA Health Insurance today.
Hey guys, at GYG we never compromise on the quality of our food. That's why we only serve 100% free-range chicken. We're on a mission to reinvent fast food. Because who said fast food had to be bad food? Love ya.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's coats in your corner. Make sure you're looking for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
Through 100 years, New Farm has gone through thick and thin with Australian farmers. Through protection, through innovation, through growth. All so that Australian farmers are there for Australia. Because when you choose New Farm's crop protection solutions, you choose to support Australian jobs, Australian innovation, and a strong Australian supply chain. Through our partnership, we're tougher together. Visit newfarm.com.au. New Farm. Australian through and through.
ESPN now streaming on Disney+. Stream the latest and greatest of NBA, UFC, MLB, NHL, WNBA and more.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Cheer on.
Ohtani, the greatest day!
Party on.
Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
Dream on. One destination for a new generation of streaming. ESPN on Disney+.
The long wait is over.
Turn
it on.
For non-stop entertainment and all the 2025 AFL Gather Round action, head to Station Road, Sky City, where you'll catch the SEN team broadcasting live on stage across 4 full days of unmissable footy insights and highlights. Starting Thursday, April 11. Don't miss SEN superstars like Vixen Walshy, Gerard Waitley, Kane Corns, Malcolm Blight, Kimbo on the Rooch, Andy Marr and more. With Crunch Time live on Saturday and Sunday. 4 unmissable days on SEN, broadcasting live from Sky City, Adelaide, where the action never stops.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. For all your crop protection, seed and fertiliser needs. And 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food.
Inside the 50, Elliott's worked his way to the front, then dropped the mark on the way down. He had it cold, gives it to DeGoey on the tidy up, and DeGoey snaps a goal. At last, bouncing ball gathered by Membry, opens it up on the turn and snaps a ripper. Bobby Hill fed it out in front of himself, gathered, doubled back, has a look, hand pass to Elliott, who swings it to the teeth of goal. Oh, Schultz, brilliant, brilliant by the Pies. And Schultz marches it through for a goal. It's Collingwood by 25 points at the final change. Our expert for MEGT, build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts, is Adam Simpson.
Well, what's done is done, I suppose, from a Carlton point of view. I mean, they've conceded 18-7 inside 50s and 8 forward half turnovers to Collingwood for 3 goals 4. But what are they going to do now, Jared? Like, Collingwood got 2 modes. One is your forward handball, kamikaze, shape and bake. The other is kick mark, down the line, contest, inside 50, basic football. And that really worked for them. I'm really interested to see what Carlton do differently this quarter with positions, structure and system, because you can't just roll on doing the same thing when you're 25 points down. You're going to have to do something and risk losing by 50, because you won't win if you don't do that.
Looks like Jordan DeGoey is being subbed out of the game at 3/4 time. Ned Long will get his look at it. So Carlton minus 89 in the second half so far this season, and they've lost that third quarter by 29 points. Got to make a stand. Last term underway at the MCG. Cameron out the side. Hewitt committed himself. Walsh as well. Cripps has the footy, dispossessed. Nick Dacos worked to kick forward. Silvani did well. He reached up with one hand as the ball was about to clear him and took the juggling mark.
There's one of the options. He obviously counted him as a backman, but he could go forward.
Kicked for White, who ended up pushing Maynard in the back. I think he might have stumbled as he arrived at the contest. So Maynard's ball plays to the worn wing. Side bottom wheel set at halfway. Ambles off. Touches it down on the turf and then delivers in the Membry direction. Up went McGovern. He dropped the mark. Wiedering has to tidy up. Hand pass to Sard, who's hot. Got rid of it, but straight to Membry. He's tied up, got some sort of kick away, only as far as Wiedering, who dumps it beyond the defensive area. Bouncing ball to deal with. Hooked on by Kemp. Cut off by Moore, who's so well set in defence. Works it around with Cameron, Pendlebury, Moore and Josh Dacos will go back after the loose ball. Josh has it. Fashions a kick forward. Maynard crunched in the back by McGovern, who was merciless with the knee. Maynard picks himself up to stay in the contest. Knocks it onto side bottom. Hand passes it around the boundary. McGovern disrupts that play as well. And finally, a ball.
How is he, Dwayne?
Well, he's hobbling, but we've got a toughest of the night award later. He stood there. He knew he was going to get, need. Go a worse word there, but it's probably the kind of thing that Maynard kind of does every week and shouldn't be surprised. The 2 Dacos boys get it. Nick's run down, free kick, holding the ball, Carlton's ball. Now they need to get it inside the corridor, but they turn it over to Mychek. He read their eyes, read their minds, gave it to Long, he gave it to Lipinski, he gave it on to McCreary, 50 from goal, loops it to Crisp, 52 from goal, turns onto his left, sends it inside 50, off hands, big crumb, picked up by McCreary, gave it off, Long just on, outside of the boot, going to be hard now, Long goes long, and this lead is lengthening. 4-6 Carlton, and if you didn't know, they were 4-5 at half time. We're into the last quarter and Collingwood are 8-13. And Collingwood were 3-7 at half-time. This has been a demolition since half-time, and it looks like, well, the Seagulls are coming in and a few Blues fans are going out.
I mean, you've got to celebrate Collingwood and what they've done tonight. They've just systematically broken down this game to their advantage. Have you seen Collingwood switch into the corridor once since half-time? And all I've seen Carlton do since half-time is try and take the game on like they did in the first half, and they haven't adapted to the point where it's now become a bit of an issue with these turnovers.
It's a Bendix Breaks big moment. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Breaks. Both the methodology and the skill level. Walsh was going to win the clearance in the middle. It was smothered. The ricochet taken by Williams. So the Blues do get it to half forward. Fogarty keeps it going goal side. Rains as heavy as it's been. And Moore just cuts that off as well. He glides out into the pocket and pumps it long. Nick Dacos set himself. Haynes with the flight, but Collingwood got the numbers of the drop. McCreary spreads it on. Lipinski hammered it forward to Nick Dacos, trying to get it on to Membry on the bounce. Nick stayed with him. Haynes runs just enough interference, and the Blues force a turnover. Hewitt brought it to the wing. DeConing that got past him. Pendlebury and Houston. Collingwood reset. Nick Dacos from right half forward. Kicks to the hot spot. Out comes Myercheck.
How good's Nick Dacos?
He's pretty good. He's all right. He anticipates turnover sometimes slightly before acceptances and relies on a contest won behind the play. But that's a little bit unfair in what he does around the ball.
Myercheck is lining up for his first. 40 out. Oh, didn't hit that at all. Seemed to get the foot plant wrong. Dragged it out to the left. It's a behind. Collingwood by 32 points on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Big Easter sale.
Did Goey sub just to look after him, or is there something wrong?
I reckon it's to look after him.
Pretty confident, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. You're 25 points up and you sub out one of your match winners, but they've got Carlton on toast at the moment. Walsh out wide. Doherty runs half back, sends it long. Howe gets up, fists it toward the boundary. Maynard was there because he knew where he was going to fist it to. Gave it to side bottom, rolls it to the wing. They hug the boundary. Schultz can take it out or keep it in. Kept it into long. He knocked it further on, hoping for Josh. He couldn't pick it up. Born the congestion. Josh Dacos knocks it to long and it's taken out.
We used to have a knock-on stat, and it was a selfless act because everyone wants a possession, and they've been elite at that tonight. They've had 10 or 12 knock-ons when they could have picked the ball up, and it's just a good sign of team unity from the Pies.
Adam Simpson for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. From the throw-in, Houston comes at the back of the stoppage, hacks it off the turf, high ball. Haynes had it knocked away by Myercheck. Elliott right on the boundary, can't keep it in. Happy not to, in fact.
Harping on things, but he could have had a snap there, couldn't he? And he said, no, it's not what we do tonight.
Ultra disciplined and getting a big result for us. 40 out from the Collingwood goal. Thrown in, Williams off the ground, clears the area for the Blues initially. Moore came up. Houston lent a hand, straight back inside the 50. No mark for Elliott. Ball still to be won underneath. Hewitt, kick smothered by Cameron. Fell the way of Long. Hand pass to Elliott. Knocked it on. Only as far as McGovern. Hand pass to DeConing. Short kick to Cripps. Feeds it out wide to Walsh. His job to clear the area. Long down the line. Curnow and Frampton grapple. Ball loose. Moore committed himself underneath and Frampton got it as a result. Fed it through Cameron. On to Perryman. Inside 50 again. Myercheck made the spoil. Off the ground. Schultz made sweet contact. But it's off to the left for a behind. Collingwood by 33. It was at 8:15. Is there any reason?
Yeah, that could be further in front. You're spot on. It could be really ugly. It's ugly enough. 63-30 when you lead by 4 points at half time. Ball towed off the deck by Cripps. He towed it straight to Josh Dacos. Bad option. He goes inside 50, but to the pocket. So a ball ends a win for Collingwood here. More than happy if they get it, and they're going to get it.
I haven't seen... I hope the rhetoric during the week, if they don't win this game, is not a fitness thing. I don't think that's part of it, maybe, and reliance on... This is a different than just... They haven't got enough legs. There's more to it. So that's a shallow look at the game if you think it's just fitness.
So back into play. Ball knocked down to Doherty, back pocket. Kicks it around his body to get it outside defensive 50. Moore gets there with a double fister. Dumps it to the boundary. Cripps was waiting for it. Oh, he's caught. Well, he little shake and bake, and then he took it out and he got away with it. Well, he knew the traffic was coming. He just said, come tackle me over the boundary and I'll wander over there with you. And they danced over the line and there's a ball in.
33-point margin. Collingwood attacking again. Cameron took it out, got shot down by De Koning to be a free kick. Left half forward for the Pies. The territorial domination in the second half has been amazing. Monopolising the inside 50s again. Short and wide to Josh Dacos.
It's been good to have you in, Simo, as our expert, because everything you said they do, you can now, like you said, once you see it, you can't unsee it. This kick mark game, stay wide, no chances. It has changed since they grabbed the little lead after half time.
There's the point.
Perryman with the point and the follow through. Myercheck is the initial target underneath. Schultz rode the first bump, lost the footy on the way through. Walsh and Wiedering. Side bottom keeps it away from Hewitt. Now side bottom tracked that ball all the way to the boundary. And Josh Dacos happy to see it over for a throw in.
It confirms Simo's point. He could have snapped it, kicked it to the top of the square, but he just takes it out.
To another level, they don't kick it to the top of the square. They always kick it to the point of the square, is what we scouted. So it doesn't get to that central position. It's more boundary, so it's not as risky if it turns over.
Back into play. Getting there first, Nick Dacos. He turned out of a jam beautifully. Gave it to McCreary. Gave it to Maynard. Kicks it inside 50. Long couldn't quite trap it. Williams does. Has a withering run from half back, but like a bull in a china shop, he took it down a bit of china off the shelf. Motlop's got it. Heads out wide. Finds Kemp. Floats it inside 50 to White. Can't quite trap it, the debutant. Still a chance. Ran into Curnow. 20 from goal. We'll get a ball up. Make that 30 from goal. A ball up. 30 from goal for the Blues. Okay. A trail. 30 to 63. Collingwood lead. Still 13 minutes. It's been done before. You just don't think it can be done by Carlton unless a miracle happens and they kick one from this. Ball knocked down to Nick Dacos. Gave it up to Doherty. And the umpire says, free kick. A throw. So Nick Dacos said he had no prior opportunity and made an attempt, or?
No, he's saying he handballed it.
Okay.
It's the best thing for a coach in a playing group to get a free kick from a forward 50 stoppage.
So did he have prior opportunity there?
Threw it. Put the second hand to it, but he threw it off that hole.
But you're allowed to throw it if you haven't had prior, aren't you?
No.
As long as it's at your boot.
Throw's a throw.
Oh, no, it's at your boot, though, and you missed your boot. Kick a goal, across the face, and a behind. Well, you have if you throw it in the vicinity of your boot and attempted a kick, then that's okay.
Threw it up in the air.
Well, his boot was there when it came down.
Dwayne, don't confuse us even more than we are confused.
Get Bevo up here to explain.
So incorrect disposal can be paid with no prior opportunity.
No, he paid a throw, not in
which is incorrect disposal.
The Pies fight for the ball at half-back. They all swarm in, ball it up.
53 inside 50s to 35. Dwayne, it's been total dominance. A lot of that's in the second half as well.
Because I would say that's an attempt at a handball. That throw. It's just that he didn't handball it properly.
Take it up with your midday madness crew. Chris put it out in front of Hill. He missed him on that occasion. So McGovern shares it with Chera. The Blues pop it back inside the 50. Double-fisted spoil from Houston. Gathered by Hollands off to Akers. Slews his shot out across the face and through for behind.
In all seriousness, there's 11 minutes to go. What can you do from a coaching point of view if you're Carlton right now? And are you willing to do something different with positions or structure and strategy? You just hope there's a throw at the stumps, Jared. There's something that's a bit different that we go, geez, okay, that mightn't have worked, but we saw something.
Again, completely dictated to McStay with a hand pass near the defensive 50. Chera tackled by Long. Hollands was taken without it before that. So just confirming from Collingwood it is a tactical substitution for De Goey. Saved the legs. So he works his way into his season. And Hollands, I'd imagine too far out.
compared this entry to the Pies.
Collins is taking the long-range shots. Oh, it might. Well, let's wait and see. McStay reached up. He's touched it. Where is it in relation to the line? Let's find out on the Makita XGT scoreboard. More power, more efficiency, more Makita. So to score review we go.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we see the ball's crossed the back of the goal line before being touched. Decision on the scoreboard.
It's overturned to be a goal. So Ollie Hollands from long range kicks his second and the Blues first of the second half. They're down by 26 points. 5-7-37 to Collingwood, 8-15-63. Your local tyre power, big deals on selected Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. Get 3, buy 3, get 1 free.
You're looking at the ruck battle now, and you've got your second stringers in there. When really, you want your best midfield in there. You just kick the goal, and you want to get the next clearance. And you're in the box screaming, like, where is he? Where's the cutting? And so he's just come off for a break, and timing's not great. Doesn't mean they're not going to win this clearance, but you need your best players around the ball right now, because this is your little window, this next 2 or 3 minutes.
Shot of Dean Cox in the crowd, doing a bit of scouting.
Collingwood Friday night.
Go around. That will be a big one. AFL Nation will be covering it. Okay, what are you going to do here, Blues? You need a couple in a row and at least put a scare into the Magpies. Still 11 minutes left. 63-37. Ball in the air. The 2 second rucks. McStay, Young, Chera couldn't quite get a kick away decisively. Walsh kicks it off the deck, out into space on the wing. Crisp toes it off the deck beautifully. Wow. He just chipped it to Schultz. Not sure he knew he was there, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So Schultz will see if he kicks wide to the pocket lead. He kicks wide and it's cut off by Chera and thumps it out. But we'll get a ball in 55 from Collingwood's goal. And more time is taken off the clock. We played 15 minutes for Newtech. Newtech, optimise your business with automation in this final quarter, which is brought to us by Tyre Power, your local Tyre Power. Big deals on selected Toyo passenger and SUV tyres. Buy 3, get 1 free.
At the throw in, Pendlebury gathers underfoot. Hand passed it up. Akers ended up with it dragged down by Long. Ball slews out the side. Walsh fed it around. Nick Dacos got in the way. It's back out of play. There's a lot of vacant seats now. So the crowd maxed out at 82,058. It's a Collingwood home game, so the vast majority will be here, but a lot of the visiting Carlton fans have decided not for them tonight. Not the rain, not the song. Pendlebury from the stoppage feeds it backwards to Moore. Kicks the Pies up inside the 50. Membry made the contest in front. Silvani the spoil and the gather. Hand pass to the boundary and over.
You just don't sense that there's any hope for Carlton at the moment. 37-63. So 26 points, 10 minutes left. And it's taken out of the air by McStay. Bounced it toward the top of the square. Gathered by Membry. Loops a handball over the top. Sard stole it. Gave it off to Hewitt. Blues get it outside defensive 50. Kemp had a chance, but he spilt the mark. Ball fell to Lord. One little handball over the top. And now they're on the run. Akers hands it over the top further on. Gets it to Kemp. Looked it one way, looked it the other way. Got caught. Finally a kick towards half forward. But they've got the numbers back, Collingwood. Frampton messed up. Quainer. Kick around the body might be a good one from White. No. He had a snap, missed it. One behind. Still hasn't got his first goal in AFL footy. 5'8", plays 8'15". And it's Josh Dacos to bring it in from fullback on the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Quaynor takes the mark. Collingwood completely unhurried. We've crossed the halfway mark of this final term now. Nick Dacos is headed down to the bench. He's talking to the physio. He's concerned about his right knee a little. Long on the way out. Schultz roves the pack, but coughed it up to Young, who coughed it up to Sidebottom. Hand pass inboard. Houston works it on the Perryman, links it up to Moore, through centre half back, runs straight through Kemp and delivers the Pies forward. Hill's got the one-on-one with Hollands, trying to get it out the back. Bobby almost went to ground, paddles it on, gets some help. Elliott arrives, knocks it up to Crisp, works it around and long, onto Lipinski and through for a behind. The wrestling on the line. It's a free kick against Myercheck anyway. No score. He just barreled back into Wiedering and drove him back to the line.
So Hollands plays on, down the spine to Walsh. He looks up, chips the kick, finds his target. Hewitt back to Walsh from half back. Didn't like what he had by hand, so by football goes by hand to Hollands. Now to Lord. Chips it wider. White. 70 from goal. Puts it toward De Koning. Howe got there, double fist down to Moore. He knew he had a couple of soldiers on the boundary waiting for that fist. Moore gave it more wider towards side bottom from Pendlebury's boot. And Sidey gets a round of applause on a half-back flank. Umpire tells him to get going. And so he dances his way almost to the wing and then wobbles a taut all the way towards half-forward. Off hands, rolls to the back. Bobby Hill waits to tackle McGovern. He went to ground. Ball still alive. Towed off the deck, but straight towards Membry. His kick, a chip to Myercheck. He loads up from 50. It's across the face. And Carlton could have one last roll of the dice here as Akers goes to Kemp with 7.5 minutes left in the final term.
The rain stopped and it's opened up a little bit. And the pressure's dropped a little bit from the Pies and a little bit of circle work, but there is a little opportunity here for the Blues to do some damage. Unfortunately, the last 5 minutes you've had Cripps and De Koning off the ground, which was the critical time to get the best.
Young kicks from centre half back out to the worn wing. Haynes has the ball in hand. Leading up for him is Wiedering. Wiedering finds Doherty, who can turn and run and deliver it in deep. Curno's the target. Howe and Moore both against him. Moore with the double fist up right over the boundary for a throw-in.
Disciplined backline tonight. Haven't seen too many efforts to go for marks. When it's a spoil, and it's normally with real intent as well.
Ball with the boundary umpire for Maccas. The hot honey range has dropped at Maccas. Carlton deep forward. De Koning brought it down. McStay repelled and kicked it to Schultz. Holds it up at the defensive 50. Stepped off his line, so he's called to play on. And send it down the line where Myercheck was set up. Wiedering, though, beat him. It must have been touched on the way as the umpire waved. Yes, it does signal.
Schultz is not quite with the system just yet. He's off the mark when he should have held it up. He's trying to get spot kicks. He'll learn, but you can sort of tell he's the odd one out.
Rigidly disciplined from the Pies. De Koning taps. McStay and De Koning. De Koning gave away the free kick. He just took hold of McStay. The umpire right on the spot to see it. McStay's ball. Defensive side of the middle for the Pies. A lot of signalling down the line. Kicks in that direction. Wiedering's just plonked himself there and takes the contested mark in the pack.
Carlton bench holding up the green button.
I've seen that before. That's an intent, not a strategy. So when I say that, it's more, let's go quick, let's go handball receives, let's go corridor, rather than structural change.
Chip kick to Chera. Collingwood chant rings around the MCG. Their home game, just over 80,000 in the house. And since half-time, they've dominated. Ball fell to Frampton, gave it to Crisp, runs to half forward, too far out to score, puts it over the head of Lipinski, getting back McGovern, takes the mark for the Blues. So it's go, go, go now. Heads to Doherty, centre half back, hands it off. Who's going to get the Chera kick? Looks around and says, I'll go long. Frampton should get back with a flight. Does. Kemp knocked it down, but Collingwood, they need a count. Surely there's more Magpies out there than Carlton players. Moore loops it wide. Boundary line looming. Perryman there. Haynes cut it off. Knocked it to Hollands. All the way back to Chera, who marks on a half-back flank. We're down to 4.5 minutes, and Collingwood leads 63-38. 8:15 to 5-8.
Further back to Wiedering, who then kicks to the wing for Haynes. Up to use it. Dinks it forwards. Mark taken by Lord. Wheels onto the right. Kicks to the hot spots. De Koning fills the hole. He dropped the mark on the way down. Oh, Motlop ran flat bang into Quaynor. Umpire said high front on contact. We'll wait for the replay from Makita XGT 40V Max.
Tough on that.
Yeah. As Motlop had his head down over the ball, he gathered. Quaynor arrives. Must have been a Motlop free kick, I think. Directly in front, 35 out. Jesse Motlop has hung it out to the right.
The green button. Why would you wait till the 6 minute to go before you start the third quarter or the last quarter with the green button, Jared? I'm trying to work out what's the point now.
Kick into Frampton's on the full, by the way, but continue the point. Williams has got it. Why would you need the green button to tell your players that you're 25 points down with 8 minutes to go? You've got to take it on and use the corridor.
Because, it's more aggressive. It's like kick it to a contest in the corridor. So right now, if you're Carlton in this back pocket, you just kick it up the middle because you run the risk of losing by more. You just haven't seen that methodology work.
Nick Dacos
to go.
Nick Dacos works it on the wing. Elliott did well. Handballed it to Josh. He gave it to Lipinski. He gave it to Long. He handballed it wide to McStay, who lays the tackle on Young, who got there ahead of him.
We used to do it and it didn't work as well because everyone's tired. It's really hard to execute something late.
The great Peter Dacos is on screen. He might end up being the third best Dacos of all time, the way he's going. Josh has played a pretty good game tonight as well as Nick. Josh might lead all comers possession-wise, 29.
Nick was the one that started the third that just lifted the whole side.
That's the applause for the great Peter Dacos. And what a family they've been.
Thrown in. Scrap for the ball. Cameron takes the yardage up ahead. Young's trying to get it to the boundary desperately. Didn't fumble it firmly enough initially, but it trickles over. We're playing out time now, never mind green buttons.
You're right, because then you start looking. Really look towards next week. You've got to do it.
Take us. Macedonian Marvel acknowledges the faithful again.
Different than Luke Darcy.
Yes. Hewitt up to half forward. Howe had access. He dropped the mark, so he burrows on underneath where he's tackled the ground.
Peter's in the Collingwood race, so he'll be there when the boys come off. It's good to see him so animated at every game they play, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to be yourself.
It's 4 goes before he was able to acknowledge it. It was on oblivious cam for a while. Moyer taken to ground by Long, the two sums. Moyer hasn't been able to get into the game. Long's a good player. De Koning and Cameron. This time it's De Koning's free kick, bit of ruck lotto. Koning will soften the kick for the Blues. 2 though. Moore had front position over Curnow. Ground ball. Cameron got trapped over the top of it. He pushed it out. Hewitt got taken high. And the mid-zone umpire saw it.
The only blemish this quarter, there's been 4 free kicks inside their D50 Collingwood, and outside of that, very professional game. Set it up in the third quarter, and the last quarter was just really go through the motions, wasn't it? It was just do what you have to do.
George Hewitt comes across the logo, through the 50, pumps it at goal. It was good striking. The Blues had their second of this second half. Just bring the margin back to 18 points. Collingwood 8-15-63 to Carlton 6-9-45. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and Elders you can rely on, Elders.
Now, if there was 11 minutes to go, Dwayne, we'd be going right. This game on. It just felt like the green button should have been pushed a lot earlier to energise. And sometimes when you see these signs, we used to call it blitz, right? And so we ended up starting game in blitz because it just energised the players pre-game. It was on the front foot, it was aggressive, and we ended up just saying, let's just start in blitz until it stopped working. But to do it at the end of the game, it's really difficult to get that energy. So perhaps next time, do it at three-quarter time. Start aggressive. Collingwood have gone into a +1 mode here with Lipinski starting in the back half. He'll go behind the play to get support.
Ball thrown in the air. Cameron knocks it down. Carlton try to get the clearance and get it forward. They're 3 goals down with 90 seconds left, but they get the clearance. Hollands has a bounce. He's got the over the top with Doherty. They get a goal now. It'll be 2 goals to margin with a minute left. He heads inside 50 to Curnow. Frampton double fister straight to Hollands. Has the snap from 50. If this is a goal, it'll be a 2-goal margin with a minute left. It's a behind.
Remarkable. It's this close, isn't it?
It'll look good in the paper tomorrow.
It will, and that is the danger.
Howe with the kick in. He pumps it beyond the defensive 50. Elliott flew off his hands. It'll trickle out of bounds. The day in the post-match will be for Beaumont Tiles. Discounted now. Second half, 5 goals to 2. Asserted their domination. Elliott from the boundary throw in takes the territory up the line. Young closes. McStay with him. Another boundary throw.
When you're Carlton and you see an extra behind the play, you should equalise and just equalise the whole game, because if Collingwood win it back, they'll control the ball. So you'll see a stacked Carlton forward line and an empty Collingwood forward line.
At the throw-in, De Koning tackled as he took possession by Cameron. Nick Dacos hand passed over his head. Williams cut it off. He was straight into the tackles.
Still got an extra down the line though. Moore's on his own, which is what you really want.
The Blues play West Coast at Gather Round and then North Melbourne in the Good Friday clash at Marvel, which does shape us a big encounter. Pendlebury around the boundary, missed McStay, took a bit of yardage, throw it in.
They want to win next week.
Yeah. And they've got Geelong and Adelaide, Geelong at the MCG and Adelaide.
Who's coming back into the side, guys? They were pretty young tonight, their inclusions. Anyone on the way back in?
Yeah, we'll have a proper look at that in the post-match. Saad from the stoppage, off to Williams. Scrambled ball coming forward. Maynard brought it to ground, then got after it. Fed it up near Moore, who was happy to absorb all the pressure. It'll be a ball up. Dying seconds of Thursday night. Walsh 31, Josh Dacos 30, Pendlebury 30, Akers 30, Hewitt 29. Elliott again at the stoppage. Knocks it out to the side. Nick Dacos absorbs the pressure. Ball squirts out. Josh will get another at the end. Elliott over the top. Long knocks it on. Maynard pulls up on the kick. Nick Dacos around the contour of the boundary. And that'll do. The Blues are deep down the well at 0-4. And Collingwood will love to leave them there. A second half tactical dominance. And the Pies win by 17 points.
Side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
Zach Williams just a bit the worse for wear after that last contest, holding his right forearm or hand. Collingwood trailed by 3 at quarter time and 4 at half time, but led by 25 at half time and emerged victorious by 17. Final score 8-15-63 over Carlton, 6-10-46. 2 for De Goey and Schultz, with singles to Maynard, Perryman, Membry and Long for the Blues. 2 to Hollands and 2 to Hewitt, with singles to Cripps and Curnow.
Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades should. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
82,058 in to see it. The Pies by 17. They go 3-1. Carlton are 0-4. Our expert tonight for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, Adam Simpson.
Well, we knew they're the oldest side in VFL AFL history, and what Fly will be saying is the most experienced side, because that's what I saw tonight. I just saw a very professional outfit that haven't tweaked their style of play to the point where they've lost their identity. It's the same for me. It's built off pressure. It's built off, elite turnover speed when you get it, but it's also built off smarts. And tonight they went to a mode which I've seen a lot before, and it is around, well, let's embrace the contest. Let's embrace a bit of length in this game because of the weather and the maturity of their leaders. You could see it visually here if you're at the ground, the direction, the little things that take the ball out of the boundary line, the knock-ons, and they get the reward. So that just fuels the belief as the game goes on. So in particular, the third quarter is when they did their damage. But the second half, really, they stood up in that area. As for Carlton, they've got some work to do, Jared. I mean, people will talk about fitness, no doubt, after tonight. But I didn't see that as much as I saw another game. I just saw a better method in the wet, and some critical turnovers when it mattered from the back half, and the Blues crept in. But it wasn't. There's no adaptation made from the players on field, and sometimes it's the coach, but a lot of times it's the players on the ground reading the right cues and doing the right thing at the right time. So a bit of work to do on the track for the Blues. I don't know how they get back into the side to help that maturity, but a bit of a difference there with experience today really shone through.
Harry Mackay is the one that they'll be hoping to get back at some stage.
All right, we join the presentation of the Peter Mac Cup.
Peter Mac Cup. The Cup recognises the Peter Mac Foundation and their work supporting those affected by cancer. Every dollar raised through the Peter Mac Cup this year will help researchers improve care for patients with cancer. And tonight, all donations will be doubled thanks to the Pratt Foundation. Alongside the Peter Mac Cup, we also award the Richard Pratt Medal. The Richard Pratt Medal is awarded to the player voted best on ground and presented in honour of the late Richard Pratt. I would now like to welcome Millie Weislitz and Sammy and Ben Gaminda, who will present the medal on behalf of the Pratt Foundation. I'm pleased to announce the winner of the Richard Pratt Medal goes to Lockie Schultz.
Two third-quarter goals for Lockie Schultz.
18 possessions and 475 metres gained. Probably his best game for the club, Jared. 7 contested possessions, 7 tackles, 9 score involvements.
He's building into his Collingwood career.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank Carlton. Always a great game between us guys, and obviously a very special week building up to this game, and for such a great cause to bring awareness to the Peter Mac Foundation. So a very special game for everyone involved. To our boys, thank you. Love playing with you. Great fun tonight. Got the W, so that's the main thing. But on to next week. Finally, to the fans, we couldn't do it without you. So, thanks very much. We really appreciate everything you do for us.
These moments contributed to the Loctite sealers of the game, fast, strong and reliable adhesives that go beyond the ball.
And presenting the cup today is Peter Dacos. I would now like to call forward Darcy Moore to accept the Peter Mac Cup on behalf of tonight's winners, Collingwood. Bring it in.
I think we've got a photo at the end.
Firstly, to the fans, over 80,000 of you turning up tonight. We appreciate all of your support, and you make our game great, so let's hear it for yourselves. Collingwood and Carlton, we are the fiercest of rivals, but for us to come together and channel that rivalry into this Peter Mac Cup game is super important. Obviously, the Carlton Footy Club, your support and the way that you've driven this game and this cause, raising really important funds and importantly awareness to cancer, which touches the lives of so many. So we are truly honoured to play our part in this game. So thank you so much. And lastly, to the Pratt Foundation for your continued support of this game. The oldest continuing charity game in the AFL, and we're proud to be a part of it. So thank you so much.